Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Hopefully with sorted, fixed audio. We're here. We're not late. We're on time. We were already late before. We're slightly later now, but it's fine. None of it matters. It's all good. I'm eepily. I'm joined with Dum, joined with Beta. We're joined with the lifeless corpse of Lightclaw who died trying to fix the previous stream, but that's okay.
actually what LC stands for as well.
That's true.
So
That's true.
that's exactly that, and it's as perfect as it all could be here tonight. It's going to be Prem Qualifiers, game number 1 of 3, I think there was. There was a lot of random things with the preseason deeply, and we're here with 3 teams qualifying, right? In the end, somehow.
Yes. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good, guys. We've got some hard issues. We may or may not be in Insecure. We're just going to keep on casting. We're going to make it happen, boys. Right, we're seeing the first mid. We're seeing action happen here on the side of MANDEM as they just kind of crush Overpoint. They don't care. They're just going forward. They're winning. They're owning. It is one little shocky player under point all by himself. This is a radio cast. He's doing it. He's going to try and win the fight. Kind of gets crushed by AZN. That's the end of the first mid. Firmly in the control of the MANDEM.
That's all I need to know. And while the gameplay might not be on stream for a moment, we can just quickly recap as well a couple of things here. For one, this is 4 teams qualifying, 3 teams make it in, due to or Electro deciding not to play last second. That might be something a lot of people have missed over the course of literally yesterday, I think.
That's true. That's true. There's been a lot happening in this last couple of days. There was a French team, then there was not a French team, then there was 2 French teams. Don't know what's going on with any of that. But the situation is, we have 4 qualifier teams. 3 of them are going to get in. Current situation now in this game, we're at a fatty 0-0. Both teams going to be getting Uber in just about a second. We do see MANDEM 14% advantage. I would imagine they're probably not going to push forward. You wouldn't know if they did, because we're still restarting our game.
Well, this is the problem though with this, because MANDEM's the kind of team that would just kind of push for whatever reason. That's kind of how they've been doing. And it's been treating them very well. They got second Div 1 2 seasons ago. They take technically a season off. I mean, they played what it was Div 2, just funny off-class season about. But they, took a season off from tryharding and still worked well. And in that season, they also played the funny off-class Lemao roster of the Germans. So exactly. This is a rematch of sorts.
Someone was saying this is just like the Div 2 Grand Finals all over again, but basically in Prem this time, you know?
But good.
True.
Some might argue.
Yeah, well, at least, considerably gooder, as the English would say. There's just a little bit of carnage, I'll be honest, in the server. AZN's hitting shots. We do have the Germans retaking control of mid, not using any Ubers, because, who needs to do that? And we're just going to stand around a little bit more. Stand around just, having a good old time. Peeking towards Big Door with a solo scout Uber. We do see, 2 solo scout Ubers. Making some fatty little trades. Foxy not really hitting a great deal. Slightly better Uber. Nothing much going to happen. We see Fitchcop going in, trying to hit some rockets and hitting them before he gets cleaned up by the devil himself, Scout Class. And Germans basically is going all the way forward towards second, taking some height, taking some control. Perfectly happy to bully the MANDEM all the way out, who only now look like they fancy contesting, which is arguably foolish. They see that. They recognize that. They're going last. They're not throwing this first round away just yet. They want to keep it going slow so that we have time to get back.
Yeah, it's been tough for us here, but at least the game is going as intended, and that's all that really matters. Also, what might have to be noticed here as well, there's not been the final verdict about the Iron Bomber situation by Athens as well, so stay tuned on that after the qualifiers over, I believe. It's going to be exciting to see what comes of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone said bad things about not having Iron Bomber being ridiculously broken? Has anyone been just that much of oh no, I can't just hit every pipe without aiming anymore,
I've been having a lot of fun just talking about, wow, this would have hit, for sure.
I mean, that's what I've been doing whenever I've played demo. I've just been sorry guys. Sorry I hit 150 DPM. If I had Iron Bomber, I would have been 400, so it's all good. We're still sitting at 0-0 in the game, by the way. Equal Ubers, we do have MANDEM happily chilling on last. They got themselves a double off class, apart from BB on the heavy, who takes 450 damage instantly, killing himself. Not really what you want to see. So Germans, they do have an opportunity. Voxy going all the way under point, moving towards last. There's Sticks on the front side of point. No one's really blocking him. Only the engineer. Now the soldier comes in. Jockey tries to go in as well, tries to get some kind of force, but it's not going to be happening whatsoever. It's so good. Everyone is just living their life. Ooh, Philip Demo on the side of the Germans. Actually, just going to get completely crushed towards river. The MANDEM have a huge opportunity. Walking all the way up the river. Oh my god, this is just the Germans. Yeah, they have no chance of getting onto second.
Alright, well, I mean, they kind of just crawled away off the map on last. You just gotta be careful, right? It's like hard to get out, but you can't give your opponent like just a bunch of free kills for no reason. Ooh, exchange into choke as well. They don't want to take any space here at all. This is where we're heading straight back into the game. It's gonna be the red team being the Germans, as we call them, Versus doof in the long form here. MANDEM in blue, former Div 1 second place team, want to now get better than even first place Div 1, which is any prem placement, I would say. Let's see how that goes for them here with these two rosters. Slightly changed from last time they played, not very much so at all. And with the bomb on the medic, doesn't quite get it, goes down just ahead of time here. We're off to a hot start to this game. You didn't miss all too much here in the end. A little bit of last stalemate, bringing us right into this fight right here, right now. And that's where we get straight back into this. So, Germans might just regain some control. liest get right back in there, wants to take the fight. Rest of the scouts here also bullying their way slowly but surely in. Red team trying to just play the high ground as much as they can. Bomb coming through. liest really wants the damage, but it's not quite landing. Germans just falling back further and further into the high ground area, but they're managing to stay alive, and that might just be good enough for them to keep control of the game.
Yeah, very, very happy to win that little fight there. It is still 0-0, 6 minutes into this game, so like you said, nothing too much going on right now. And going to be equal Ubers. We do see blank on the old NG, BB on Pyro as well, so no easy way of spamming down that gun. Especially not when Fitchcraft takes like 150 instantly, so there's going to be some opportunities. AZN goes deep, doesn't really hit a great deal towards river. Does open up once again an opportunity. We see Shocky going all the way behind point. This time liest's much quicker on the draw, getting onto the river point, so he is going to be trying to deal with the scout as soon as possible while they try and spam this gun down. They're spamming all their doorways. Pyro's doing a great deal of work though. Eventually gun does go down. Shocky is still alive underneath. He is a little bit weak though. They can sack if they do want to go for this, especially with the Pyro going back, but yeah, Box is going to get picked up on main, and now this is going to be surely losing Shocky any second.
Alright, if anyone was wondering what was missed earlier in the game, it's pretty much just this after the bit fight here. Shocky trying his hardest. Also, worth noting, Shocky did officially go back to just going by Shocky online. Just fun is no more, I guess.
Rest in peace.
Shocky, it is a gas. Bit of an attempt here. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if that will be kept in the cut vote I might or might not make of this stream. MANDEM's the kind of team to want to play very aggressive, and we've seen this time and time again from teams at like the top Div 1 to lower Prem level, just wanting to be the aggressive team, right? It happens so much, but making it work, and not just into Prem, but also into the top level of Prem is a very different idea, of course. Very difficult to actually get away with that. MANDEM sticking to the guns though, even in these Prem qualifier games, so they want to play their game here. Bringing them the most success right now. The Germans still a very experienced roster. I think only 2 people with the Prem experience. Philip, who has been plenty of time in the 1 June, has been with the German roster for 2 seasons now as well in various issues, so sticking with their guns here as well quite a bit on the German end, and I mean it's a name everyone should be familiar with, even with various iterations of the roster.
That's true. We do see big old quicker MANDEM maybe picking up Fitchcraft. That's a good start. They're all the way towards the point. We do see June still above point, still got the Uber, so can kind of use it at any point, but they're really stuck in like quite a dodgy position. They have no control of point. They have no real control on the height, but it's actually the spawners who come in and somehow manage to force MANDEM completely out towards Shutter. You talk about them being an aggressive team, but they had no interest in making that messy or taking a trade or whatever. They actually backed up pretty early, and actually do have to use considerably earlier. They do pick up AMT, which makes things a little bit trickier. Shocky still, like, he's living his entire life under point. Right, okay.
I saw him peek up from there. I thought he was going to just get away with that, but someone was watching and they immediately made the call for someone else. The second soldier to just go river from the other way, pins him completely. No way. I thought the scout will wrap this up just fine. Fight's over for now, but the situation's not at an end just yet. Everyone's slowly pushing up for MANDEM. They need to get out of last comfortably at some point sooner or later here. Right now, Doom's kind of weak, taking some spam. So does the rest of the team here in Big Door, but for now they're getting out. But they're in bad position with kind of bad health. So maybe MANDEM can just get away with something here.
Possibly. We see liest going all the way towards actually the enemy Big Door, and BB's getting taken out by a sticky trap on Choke as well. So this is actually going to be... Oh my god! liest just jumps in behind, picks up June and Fitchcraft.
Well,
he was like, what?
That's what liest can get away with, but he's not timing out. Man, might be probably the cause for a pause later on in the game if I had to hazard a guess once we get there. But when he can play the game past Norwegian internet, the man can perform, and this is no exception just now. Really big bomb for Lardox, puts them not just in a good position, but frankly in a position that honestly can get them very easily into last if the Germans aren't careful.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you want to take mid nice and quickly. Oh, picking up Philip as well. That's actually really, really bad for the Germans. It's now like, it's only about 40% advantage, but they can just leave a guy capping on second for MANDEM. They can look all the way towards last. We do see BB and Fancy up all the way towards main. Uber has been used all the way towards his top right hand side. Gun going down. Soldier surely not long for this world. He does actually die in spawn now. No sticking towards point. They're still just only capping second, but they're trying to lock all these German players towards spawn, and they're doing such a good job of it. Only now they get forward, but they have the Uber, and then BB just caps it. Tragic, man. Tragic.
I don't want to be like that, but this exact same thing happened in the few seconds I saw when I joined the server in their pre-game scrim on the German side, just to see if everything is going correctly there. They just stepped off point again. This can't keep happening. You need to learn from your mistakes. And it's not been the case just yet. They had so much control for so much of the game, but MANDEM showing that they only need one opening to get one conversion.
Yeah, there we go. And second mid of the game. We did see MANDEM win it solidly last time. This time, though, Pitchcock is doing huge damage from behind. Does get pick up Lardox once again. Getting thrown to June, so heals firmly in the hands of the MANDEM frags as well. Looking good right now. Taking a situation nice and slow if they can. Ooh, Voxy winning an important 1v1 there. And with the cap coming out from the Germans, it's actually a little bit trickier for MANDEM. They're still only 75%. Arcades taking surprising amounts of damage because Shocky just walked all the way through his scout pad. What? He just walks past him, gets straight onto Arcades, and they just literally threw that away.
Just being captured.
Well, that's one way to bring things back around in a little bit more comfy position for the Germans. Still 2 down, still a little bit sketchy here, but they want to just bust for it early. Soldier leading this in, eats a lot of damage. Eventually Fish will go down as well, but they got most things on the wrap. There we go, AZN caught as well, one step at a time. They're getting forward here, except for the bat, staying far back for the longest time. They're not taking any unnecessary risks too much. They're really trying to get in. Philip just walked away fancy, but that man has nowhere left to go after that. Just 2 scouts in his face, Solid Bomb to clean it up. They gotta keep Arcades out of this one. They want him to have the advantage. Can't make this a full team fight when they're already giving up people so early. And it just will lead to the Germans eventually taking this. Without a demo man, a bit awkward to get in here, but it's not like MANDEM's really backing up either, so this will be a fight, and MANDEM's ready for it.
Yeah, well, they're ready for it. It's a huge Uber advantage, but like dropping Voxy's really, really not what you want there. Empty, he's gonna pick up Lardox at least alongside Pitchcop. That's a good start, but definitely feels like a situation where if they didn't drop Voxy, maybe they could have just got so much more. So Uber's going to get used, but it will get them second point, not anymore, because Arcades is going to be 95% already. With Lardox spawning in 4 seconds, this should be a solid repush for the side of MANDEM. They don't have absolutely ages to play with. June is already 45%, so
this is MANDEM. They will push with this. If there's a team to push with that in recent memory, it's these guys. They don't want to be on last. They want to win the game. They don't want to sit there not losing. And look at that.
Oh my god, they're going choke. They're going behind them. They're literally nuking choke. Oh my god, these chimps are getting crushed. Oh my god, Shocky's trying to go all the way towards last. He's trying to just completely ignore everything else. He does get taken down somehow. Voxy gets past, but Lardox takes down both of them, securing that and just wiping the Germans.
And this is just what MANDEM wants to do, right? A lot of the times in holds, everyone's just sitting there relaxed, nothing will happen, no one should go for anything here. And then you're just not ready for the fact that someone could just go for something. As silly as it might look, you gotta be prepared, otherwise, what's the point of being relaxed in the hold if you don't earn that fact?
I don't know. I don't want to give the Germans the benefit of the doubt there. Like, someone's got to have some vision of something towards Big Door, surely. You can't let that happen. And they managed to feed both their soldiers on mid as well. So now, from that one incredible push at last, they now have 30% Uber advantage going straight onto the German last. They're going all the way Shutter, Sticks on there, so they're going to be using all the way through. Philip playing in spawn, not on point, so it's actually going to be Lardox getting a little bit of cap time. Bringing both soldiers down. Once it's going to be Arcades dropping BB though. Flank goes down as well. There's 0 capping power. MANDEM, they need to give this up.
Oh, Devilman Fancy still staying in for way too long, just not leaving lobby in time. Caught by Amp eventually. One pipe's not going to be good enough there in the end to do the rest of the damage. It's going to get the Germans on high track out of last. However, it's also going to get blank on high track to the spy class, trying to desperately get Choo here in any way, shape, or form. One swing is all this spy class needs sometimes, so we'll see. Surely the rest of the team will try to delay them a little bit here as well.
Yep. AZN jumps in, actually forces off the Uber alongside Lardox. Okay, Blank does manage to pistol down Philip, so he's being a little bit annoying. And Uber did get used, and Arcades does actually have their own Uber now. Blank is still live on Spy all the way behind, so they can actually coordinate this really well if they want to, you know? You can use the threat of the Uber to get Blank all the way behind them, and importantly right now, Blank's just calling out all this positional info. All of it's just free.
Well, and we've seen what they can do with just one opening of positional advantage they had last time, so maybe it will actually matter here. A little bit harder into just the choke point that they know they're coming from right now. They only have so many entrances to come into mid within the first place. Blank just playing CCTV camera for this to be a little bit easier here. Flank play by Shocky certainly not helped at all by this, just trying to sit in the backlines there and surprise them, but what surprise is there when Spy is just watching him do it?
Yeah, we have Pitchkoff on a ×1 back cap. The Germans have, well, I guess they delayed a little bit by fighting in choke. It is actually Lardox going down. Pitchkoff does eventually kind of get trade out, so it's soldier for soldier. Ubers have equalized with all of this delay, and now Blank goes in. Not really doing a great deal, I guess. Trying to help to force out the Uber. Nice pipes by Philip. Really nice pipes. My god, they've done so much damage to all these players. This is really scary. Jesus Christ, Arcades was like 7 HP. Just about gets around that corner of choke. And they're somehow gonna kind of stabilize. Losing Lardox does make this a little bit of a kind of 4v6 though.
Yeah, still a bit rough for them here, but I mean, do you concede now? You're only halfway out the point, so you gotta somehow throw something their way. He does the bomb coming through. AZN hits a nice one, but Philip does him one better, takes out the soldier, the merc in this game for MANDEM, not able to save the day. That's gonna put them back to last. They've been spending a lot of time here, but I guess it's more to say anything about the Germans' success rate so far last.
Yeah, this is a dry push right now. We do see he's going all the way towards point. Oh my god, German soldiers doing so much damage to eventually take down this heavy. And the Pyro, who's completely unaware. Now, they just need a second to breathe, to arrow up, to play with June. This should be the easiest push of their life, and yep, just like that, German's going to be equalizing this 1-1.
That was really nice. Just threatened the dry push, get the bombs in deep. And they weren't ready for it. Somehow caught the medic as well. If that was not going to be it, it was advantage for sure. But everyone played their role perfectly there for the Germans and gets the job done just fine. German efficiency for once on these last pushes took them half the game, but one more and they got the map wrapped up. Let's see if they can keep up the performance here of MANDEM. Just can't find the one golden opportunity once again.
Alright, going into our third mid, Lardox throwing his life away pretty early on, but thankfully Shocky's there to equalize things. Still looking good for the Germans though. Philip, as always, doing great damage, but He picking up those 2 frags basically just means that's a 1 mid for the Germans. Getting that all-important arrow, going to go all the way towards Shutter. Oh, there's some aggressive peeking from the combo of MANDEM, but they know they can't hard commit. They have been healing a little bit better. For a second, it looks like they were going to build and maybe do something crazy, but yeah, they're not feeling that brave, I don't think. They are going to be happy just to get this Uber play towards last, get the old off classes, and see how the Germans want to attack this last.
Alright, it's no secret I like this damage a lot compared to at least most other damages we have on last in the game. You have a lot more options, the Jan area adds a lot, you just gotta be good at using it is the problem, and that's where we really see a team shine a lot, and for the moment, MT is not shining very much. Just surprised at lobby, blindsided completely, 1 down, and maybe MANDEM will do something with this. I mean, they're still not winning and stuck on last year for another few minutes will do them no favors. So some risks might have to be taken, but how much are they willing to gamble on? Looks like not very much at all. They're going home with empty hands for now.
Yeah. No, they understand that gambling is a sin, I'm pretty sure. So Jesus said that as the first thing he said. So nothing much going to happen there. We don't see any off classes for the Germans. Nothing aggressive they want to do in terms of that. They're happy to keep playing this cookie cutter and see what sack attempts, what kind of point plays you can make. Obviously, you know, Gully, there's a lot you can do under point. You know, you can do those scouts like winger jumping through main, obviously with the forward gun that Blank has and the pyro around it. That's going to be really, really annoying to take down.
We'll see who's going to be the one taking the chances here eventually. So far, only defensive off-class. There's some spy checking going on earlier, I think, on Lardox's hands. Just seeing out if there's any funny off classes, but neither team picking up like this pick classes for good just yet. With that in mind, the gun is obviously the huge issue here right now. You could try to sack him with the soldier bombs all you want, maybe a change in as well, but the gun just needs to take all the attention during either of those things. And that's the key part right now. Getting rid of it will be difficult, so why not? Just go point.
Yep. Okay.
Did you know if you cap the point, you win the game?
The pain train. Well,
I mean, it's easy to say, wow, that's a pain train thing, but the scout class would have been on that point even faster than the soldier would have been walking through under with the same cap time. So really, this is all on MANDEM. You just gotta be watching for these, and they just got way too sidetracked by people standing on shutter.
Imagine. Okay, well, classy way of getting a second round on the board. Germans happily now in the lead. Whatever, you know, that's in the past. New mid, let's see what's going on now. And other Germans going to be enthused. They're doing decent damage. Fancy Alpha, he doesn't want to give this up easily. Doing so much damage towards point, but once again, it's the Germans getting these frags right now. They're taking so much position towards this point. It's a 5 versus 3 situation. Once again, MANDEM not getting the best end of that situation. They got to be scared towards Big One because Bitcop is in and doing so much damage. Our kids gets caught all the way towards Shutter, and there's no world that Fancy Up gets out alive. Even if he takes down AmpT, guess what? You're not going to survive yourself, and he won't even get that one frag. This is disastrous. They have no heals, they have no demo. Fancy Up is dead for 12 more seconds, so there's going to be 0 stickies towards point. This is surely unholdable for MANDEM.
It has to be, otherwise this is mostly just embarrassing for the Germans and impressive by the blue side, but we'll see about that as the push comes in. Bomb in early as well, trying to save anything at all with this. Reflect whatever it takes right now, but not much getting done yet. Heavy out of spawn, that might be a different back, especially with Boxy going down early. A lot of cap up here once again, and that's actually just about enough. Everyone else too slow out of the spawn gates with the heavy quickly taken care of. That's exactly what they were looking for, just a tiny bit of focus fire. And immediately they entered the round. Really nice stuff just from the mid-fight onward. That's the kind of opening you need, you want to see to get the momentum going. And MANDEM suddenly with a really tough task at hand.
Yeah, that was like such a perfect round for Germans just to be happy. Just to be like, cool, we got a 2-round advantage, we're good. But MANDEM, they don't want to let them stay happy. They're going all the way right side, getting aggressive. He's taking so much damage, barely surviving there to begin with. We do see a lot of pressure, but it is MANDEM getting more and more frags. They're actually managing to force the Germans completely out. Huge damage. Oh, Plank getting the portal frag. Oh, that's kind of embarrassing. And the Germans are just like, oh, I don't think I want to bother with second right now.
Well, we'll see what they can do about the incoming push here. At least they have Lieber still, so no threat to just instantly leave the round without a mistake, I guess. Just yet, but these mistakes could happen quickly if MANDEM just finds a sneaky way to force them. Already quick to get some position up in big. Everyone's really far forward here. Trying to just threaten them immediately, but no one's falling for it just yet.
No, like you say, 7 minutes left to go. Lodox jumps in, gets low down towards Bitchcomp, but not really enough to get a frag, and not really on anyone that matters all that much. So just gonna be getting some health, and AmpT is going to be getting aggressive himself all the way towards drop. Now be jumping straight up, one rocket towards Arcadian, and the second gets the drop because he was completely unseen.
Well, sometimes you need to play spy to be playing soldier actually, and just be invisible.
Apparently, and now this is just once again such a good situation looking for the Germans. They are managing during all of that to lose a couple players, but it doesn't really matter because they're getting as many frags as they're losing. They do need to deal with Blank. He is on the backlines all the way towards the lobby. AmpT is rolling out. Got to be very aware of this. It is still Uber in the hands of June, and looks like the Germans have decided their combo going to be going all the way towards mid. The second they get this cap, makes it much more
Like they very much kept track of all scouts there very nicely. Didn't want to get either one on mid or on second to just W on the medic while they're both 2v1ing one of them. Kept nice track of them here. Need to keep track of Snappies while AZN picking up the rifle. We've seen this before. Not getting much value out of it just yet. 1-for-1 trade while the Germans capping the point. Will just turn this point red in fact, and nothing much they can do about this new paint job here just yet. Unless, of course, AZN picks something up very quickly and giving opportunities, but needs to actually seize those as well. That's just not happening. They will pop through though. They actually do be a little bit more than maybe expected, I suppose, and can just walk away happily, having their own beam come up at any moment. And the net goes down as well at the end. Everyone's so focused up front, no one's looking back anymore.
Oh, yeah, but Voxy's picking up 2 already. They do manage to force off the Uber. BB 2 more of his own. Okay. Okay, now it's all looking good for MANDEM. Yeah, Voxy's going to get taken down right at the end of that. Almost. For a second, it looked like they'd get more, but yeah. Uber was way, way, way too strong there. Now, fancy off actually getting a couple of stickies towards spawn. Surely the Germans will be aware of this. Surely don't let it happen. Okay. Didn't even get the death in. That is going to be, yeah, back spawning all the way. After all of that, MANDEM will be picking up second point. They will be playing with about a 20% advantage. That is not a lot to push on Gullywash, but, I mean, it's only 5 minutes left on the clock. They're 2 rounds down. They kind of got to do something, you know? We need to see some of this aggressive play that you've been saying about this whole time.
Yeah, it's been a decent bit more reserved out of MANDEM than I expected. Not to say there's been nothing. I mean, that's exactly how they got the 1 round they have, but they've been a lot more picky about what they actually want to go off than I expected them to be here. And I mean, the Germans gladly take it, right? Makes them a lot more easily dealt with in each and every engagement here so far. But now the time is against them. Now they basically have no choice on the matter anymore.
Oh, it's a slow push as well. They try and use as soon as they can, but Germans get there basically immediately. They're doing some nice damage. Lardox gets a lot out before he loses his own life, but combined with BB going down, that basically just ends that push before it can really start. MANDEM backing all the way towards second point, going to be trying to build up this Uber as much as they can. 4 minutes now. Oh, Philip hitting those pipes as well. I mean, granted, your boy was standing still, but even like that. Oh, actually, the Germans are kind of feeding towards River. Boxy and Vitkoff both going down. This is just an absolute opportunity for a dry push right now. MANDEM can keep on going all the way. Lardox buying that space. Shocky does put an end to him pretty quickly, though. Ampty as well does continue getting these frags out.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He misses once as well.
No. Oh, you can't let that happen.
I don't know what game he's playing tonight, but it's not TF2 first to back half, now it is.
Yeah, I think apparently we're just here to feed Ampty's ego, you know? So Germans are very happy they're going all the way towards second. They're trying to get this cap out and just, man, they have no choice. They got to trade this Uber. They're trading it all the way into lobby, trying to go all the way towards last. They've lost 2 already, including their demo. Soldier is all the way towards point. Lardox getting a lot of time, along with the scout, just about. The Germans block it. Jesus Christ, that's like a pixel remaining. But it's not close enough.
I feel like that's like slightly the desperation kicking in as well. They just go for it. They have to. It looks so silly, but it gets very close. Germans just about reacting the time here to just be very straightforward, just feed for the point, hoping for the best there. Not getting away with it as well, and any second wasted now is just time they're never getting back. They have 2 rounds to get in barely over 2 minutes. They gotta be on the winning end right now. They can't afford to sit here on this end. They just gotta find a push and run for it.
Yeah, this is all push all the time. If you stop moving, you die. You're like a shark, or that bus from the first Speed film. They stopped moving though.
Very similar things.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay, we do see AZN forcing off this Uber. Germans going all the way towards second point. The more they cap, just, I don't know, the more they secure their own victory right now. Fancy Elf is going to be backing out all the way, getting to hills at least. 75% on Arcades. Even at this point, I mean, it may be technically possible they're literally perfect gamers and Bite himself says it's all okay. Arcades goes down to 20 HP, doesn't even have the Uber yet, so can't possibly get forced off. They really want to try and get towards second. They want to give this a go.
Let's see, time is ticking. They gotta go immediately with everything they have. Can't even afford to wait all too much here. Just have blank cap and go in slowly but surely. Not even that enough. Quickly but surely. Really seems to be the way to go now. Fish Cup was deep early, and that's really good for the Germans. Screen doesn't have yet. Lardox from behind could catch them without even hand, but everyone else already looking for that. But here's the rest of the push coming through. BB just beasts all over them. Gets 2 kills. Is that good enough for them? He gets cleaned up, and the rest of the team is not in yet, and that's just gonna make it impossible to get through choke while there's spam happening. Shocky pulls out his own scale gun and just does BB one better. I've been in for much longer than you have, kid, and he's showing him why.
Yep, and that's basically gonna be it with 3-1 to the Germans, having Uber, having mid, having everything they possibly want. Yeah, officially impossible for MANDEM to be taking this first map away. There is still frag clip time. If anyone wants to hit a crazy air shot, it will count. It is still in an official. But I think what will actually most likely happen is that the Germans are going to run onto last, vomit their damage onto everyone, and hope to cap the point.
One thing's for sure, Cristiano Ronaldo rolling in his grave right now, seeing his team lose like this. But it's only map 1. Qualifiers like this is a best of 3. There's more maps coming forward here. I believe it's process up after this. We didn't have time to talk about the snake water if it comes to decider, and MANDEM needs it to go to that decider. Winner of this. Didn't talk about the player structure too much here yet. Does just get the Fram due to our electro dropping, so win here just saves you a lot of headache.
It's true. It's true, you know, you get to live your life, do other things, you know? We are seeing some redemption frags, you know, for MANDEM right now. They're happy, they're using their Uber, they're getting a couple more on the board, because the thing is, right, you gotta get some frags for the logs. I'm pretty sure BB picked up 3 more frags there, so you gotta minus out the logs. So those are fake frags.
This is the part of the logs page where you could scroll down and see when people are getting killed, but no one does that. Who cares? You just want to see the big number go huge.
That is true. That is true. So there we go. Yep, map 1 comfortably to Germans, even if they were a little bit sluggish for the first, well, almost like 15 minutes really, but doesn't really matter how you start. It's all about the finish. So, like I said, we're going to... You said process, but I feel like it's Sunshine next, and you lied.
Same thing, really, if you think about it. Like, what's really the difference between those two?
The map.
So you see why I was confused? I messaged Walksy and asked him for the maps, and he said Gully, Sunshine, Process, and then he corrected himself. It's Snake last. So he just told me 4 maps. What am I supposed to do with that?
It's all good. All right, we got some numbers to be looking at, and I'll be honest. Considering this was 3-1, I mean, I guess one of the rounds was just Hampty standing on point and just no one being aware. But like, it was incredibly close. Like, Germans had some more frags. They had like 300 more damage, but Ubers were pretty close. Mid fights were pretty close. Like, you know, Arcades and June died the exact same amount of times. I mean, the numbers would, suggest it was kind of, you know, pretty back and forth, but ultimately, it was just kind of comfortably in the hands of the Germans for the last 15 minutes. Really.
Yeah, it was. I mean, even at the beginning, they had a lot of control. It just, they struggled really converting of stuff, which is kind of the complete inversion of what MANDEM was struggling with, right? They couldn't really take grasp of the game all that much, but once they had it, they just went for it. They got them, obviously, with the quick 1 round. They got them, like, from last to last at one point as well. They clearly can do it, right? That's not the issue, but they just need to do it more. And you mentioned correctly, it's like, I've been talking how much of an aggressive team they can be, but there's not been nearly as much of that as I would have expected. These guys know exactly how they want to play the game, and it's exactly their way and not yours kind of deal. And there's been not enough of that, I think, and that's exactly what I feel like has made them win so far in the past few seasons. As much as that obviously won't be nearly as easy against, you know, better and better teams going up the divisions, it's exactly why they've succeeded, and I'm surprised it's been so reserved in comparison.
Yeah, maybe it is a case of, like, you know, sometimes it's easy to kind of overthink things, you know? You've got your thing which works for you, but then, like you say, as you go against kind of better and better, you know, you're against world-renowned players such as Shocky, and, you know, maybe you get in your own head like, oh, yeah, we have to change things up, whereas actually maybe you don't. Maybe you don't even kind of try the same thing because you get a little bit paranoid, like, thinking it won't work as opposed to knowing, you know?
Well, this is only half the battle. Well, preferably for MANDEM is only a third of the battle, because up next, one more map at the very least for them to redeem themselves, if not more, if they can do so on this one. Sunshine coming up. Should be an interesting one. Both teams, I think, warmed up for this one for sure as well. So in theory, they're ready. In practice, we don't know how much that really means here, of course. And I'm interested to see how this goes. The Germans certainly impressed me. Going into this match, I mean, unsurprisingly, right, with how much I've talked about them, I figured MANDEM would be a tiny bit better, but only because I've been a little bit skeptical about if this German roster could perform this quickly like this, because in theory, it's still a strong roster, but MANDEM had just this one really good season beforehand already in the past, with pretty much the exact same roster, so I would give that the benefit of the doubt more often than not, but the Germans just show that this talent on the roster is not going to waste here.
Very, very true. I think I saw somewhere about the... Is it true that Gully was the Germans' pick? Do you know
rumor has it, but I have no
rumor has it. Unconfirmed sources say Gully was the German pick. So if we're going off, you know, that assumption, MANDEM picking Sunshine, it is their own map. You know, you would suggest they would feel a little bit more comfortable. Not that they felt necessarily like, yeah, they weren't all that in control, but like they didn't get 5-0'd. You know, they didn't get absolutely rolled on Gully. So maybe this is, you know, this is the little bit of a difference they'll need. maybe they can take it to a third map. Definitely, you know. I mean, the Germans are clearly taking a second to have a breather because they're still only 3 in the server, you know?
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm sure that's exactly what they're doing. Who knows? There's like some fossils there. They might be still demographic of BRB's quick smoke break.
What an era of TF2 that is. Maybe they're all the old men Germans are like sorting out all the different like pills and the little like pill things which have like the days of the week on. That's how you know you're old. That's how you get to that point, you know. Obviously not like me.
Who's definitely not old and definitely also not German, actually.
That's true. That's very, very true. All right, done. We didn't really get time for predictions beforehand, but you know, off the bat, let's say you hadn't looked at that first map, would you still have been favoring the Germans in the way that you do now?
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, it's a weird one. Obviously, different map could change a lot of things up here. German certainly impressed me quite a bit, I will say. I guess I shouldn't just doubt them at all here, but you never know if Ross is just coming back together after a while. It can be very random sometimes. As it stands, though, I just expect a fast-paced game, really. 3-1 wasn't really all that slow. So, I don't know, I'm expecting more of this. I want the third map, really. That's all this is about, I guess, at this point. So, let's hope for an action-packed game. I'm going to say 4-3 MANDEM.
Yeah? I think it makes sense. I feel like this map may be... Like, obviously, we did see Fancy Elf, like, I think he top damaged or, like, fractionally did top damage, whatever.
He dropped the elf.
Well...
Which is very important.
Fancy then. Right, sorry.
It's not Christmas anymore, okay? Get it together.
Jesus Christ. Fancy then, right? Should be able to take over games. Like, I've been seeing, I don't know, like the dude's been pugging like a machine. If there's been a stream of a pug, he's been in there and he's been terrorizing people. So I kind of want to see a game where he just kind of like takes over and just absolutely rolls everyone. Because I feel like he's like, your boy has nutty DM and kind of needs some time in the spotlight for being a big up-and-comer. And didn't really see much of that last game. Kind of was more like a, you know, your standard kind of solid demo man as opposed to hits every single shot.
I definitely don't disagree, because, you know, if you just no-life the game forever, eventually you're going to get better, right? And clearly he has been, since I've seen him through a couple of divisions these past few months. But I don't think in the average Ramex he's playing against people that are putting as much brain energy into it as these Germans are right now at this very moment. So you gotta, you know, not just have the damn ready, but also your brain.
He's in the elite high group. Dumb. It's the elite Ramex high group. Only the best of the best are allowed in that group.
I don't know what that means. Ramet didn't pay me to advertise his server, so I have not joined it yet.
Damn.
Ramet, if you're listening, hit me up. I take commissions.
Jesus Christ. Okay, right. I'm seeing, I don't know, AZN joining the Germans right now. I'm seeing 11 on the server. This is timely. I know we were delayed. I apologize for us being delayed. Let's not delay anymore. Let's, you know, we gotta go. I need to see some enthusiasm from these gamers.
For what it's worth, on AZN's end as well, as the Merc in this game, guy's doing really well. I mean, I guess we didn't expect him to do bad either, to be honest, but obviously can always be a little bit weird if you're playing with a different team, especially if it has a playstyle that's just not with what you might be used to necessarily, who knows. But he played really well, all things considered. So he's certainly not the problem in you know, an individual performance department, which would obviously be unfortunate if that happens with a Merc, but ultimately nothing for them to worry about on that end here. AZN is as good as he's ever been.
Very true. You know, they're definitely considerably worse Mercs you can get. AZN's a bit of a gamer.
Alright, everyone getting back together here. Sunshine coming up next for map 2. I'm interested to see how this goes. I like the part where Philip was pre-game scoring, by the way, on Pipe Nerf. So he was on normal grenade launcher at the very beginning. I think he swapped off by the time we switched back around. And then they started winning.
Ooh.
When he was an Iron Bomber. Curious.
Alright, well, we're going live. Second map, we're going. This is Sunshine. We did see Germans take the first map away pretty confidently in the end, but it all comes down to, can they get another? Can MANDEM have the comeback that they want? This is all about these preseason playoffs, so let's see. Let's see how it goes down. Pitchcop is being spotted towards Kitching. Ooh, gets a lot of damage. lots and lots of damage. Actually, Fancy going all the way down as well. Germans have full maximum control over point. They are very, very happy right now. They do need a second to heal up because Donkey going down is actually going to be a big issue for them. Now, the Germans have got to get forced all the way back. It is a pretty equal fight right now. Empty firmly stuck onto the floor. Voxy gets sent to the skybox, just about managing to survive the arrow. But Philip's gone down. Surely they can't get any more out of this. We do see Empty desperately trying to jump in, get towards Blank, not really hitting it much, even does get used. Arcades does have his, and he's oh so happy just to milk it and milk it and milk it and not really have to use a tool. Oh, that's pretty bad for the Germans. Oh dear.
They would have won that if Philip was back on Iron Bomber, but he switched to Grenade Launcher again. And here we are. So it is what it is. AMT spotted at the end as well, and that's two really late deaths on the red team here. MANDEM's going to take advantage of that for sure. Just bomb in, see what's up, and not much to see at all here. Everyone's already out, playing it safe, seeing themselves to last, if anything, with a gun up as well, but the spawns are just so endlessly slow. AMP not even up yet.
Yeah, this is an Uber in, kill everything type situation. I mean, they've all gone towards spawn, so BB's like, oh, right, that sounds good to me. I'll start getting this cap time. Good damage. We do see, yeah, the follow-up looking very good. Little bit scary there for some of the German damage, but no, MANDEM's going to be prevailing very easily. 2 minutes in, getting that first round. Map difference?
No, it's definitely the Iron Bomber thing I was talking about. I don't know what you mean.
It's the only thing.
Well, it was a rough mid fight. It was like such a long drawn out one. But we'll see how things go here for the next mid one, and maybe the Germans can do better now.
Maybe. We do see Hitchcock once again playing towards Kitchen. Gonna be a little bit annoying, but surely he's gonna get spotted. And yep, he's gonna get walked at entirely and somehow gets a frag and trades it out. You do see Shocky just running straight at AZN as well. So this is much, much scarier for the side of MANDEM. They're gonna get bombed. You see, ooh, Empty lands directly on them. They only get that one frag somehow. Katie slithers all the way out with both of his scouts. Actually managed to get to Shutter in like record time. He has no interest in getting caught here. And actually the spawners are coming up. Both soldiers on the side of MANDEM. They can do pretty well here. They need to be very wary not to feed though. They do jump in. Yep, a lot of damage towards June. Uber does get used. We do see Foxy going down as well. Ooh, they're getting more and more frags. Blank is somehow still alive directly behind them. Surely he goes get down. Okay. They kind of traded 3 players for an Uber there.
I mean, if you can't pop out of last and just kill them, that might be worth it, and we've seen that before. So you never know, you can't certainly talk them out of this just yet. Look at that, they're also playing really aggro. They want them to just overextend into them. They want them to just figure, yeah, there are people down, we can just take over here. Not falling for that just yet, but you gotta still be careful on the German end to just not overextend at all here right now.
Yep, we do see...
No way
Shocky
this is.
Gets a frag
no
and
way.
Just walks out on 3. Jesus Christ, that's kind of disgusting. Now the Germans are still endlessly pressuring second. Arcades does still have an Uber, but like they're just taking so much damage, they refuse to use it. We do have Shocky, goes all the way to last strike, 2 players back. He's somehow still alive. Sure, okay, right. He dies, but like he bought like 40% like disadvantage, kind of, if you know what I mean, and went to last and dragged them all back. That was just ridiculous. Okay,
Shocky is 100% lagging Vito's PC, so we can't see him cheat. There's just no other way.
Obviously. It's the only way. Okay. Alright, we do see left-hand side. We do see... Oh my god! Pitchcop and Ampty just absolutely just nuke players. ATN and BB both going down. We do see Fancy gets a couple frags back, but ultimately that's going to be an Uber used for the side of MANDEM and none used for the Germans. So even losing a couple players, they're going to be happy. Keeping this advantage, playing towards second dump. They can take a moment.
They can certainly take the time here as long as it works once they get in there. Took the sweet time last map as well. A little bit more of a comeback now, I guess, since actually one down here, but all still very doable for the Germans. And if this one push works, let's see. Gun spam, they want this thing done early. I mean, unsurprisingly, I suppose, but not going to get that all that easily here. Busting through with the Uber, get the gun pretty quickly. Solly in the corner here. Lardok's weak. Want that kill so nicely, so early. Will not quite get it though. Heavy in the back, is really weak. There's things going well for them, but need to actually get over point with this now.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well in terms of just getting frags. They're picking up 1, 2, 3, 4. It is now just Fancy and Arcades. They're about to get Uber. Uber does get used. Arcades going all the way towards point, trying to block that as much as they can. Fancy gets that one frag towards Empty. They're slow on the spawns. Lardox just only coming up. Sticky's all the way towards point. Foxy's playing it. Arcades gone down. Soldiers way too slow. Germans going to be equalizing things. And isn't this exactly how it went last game?
Kind of. I like the part where the scout just double jumped over the blue stickies to get to the other half of the point, where there's red stickies, so the Demoman can't block him. Nice little interaction there, where just, you know, you can puck all you want. Sometimes you're not thrown in that situation just yet, and you will just lose.
Just how things work, you know. So here we go. Third mid already. Only 6 minutes in. Each team winning one mid solidly at different times. So here we go. This time it's going to be Fitchkop trying to initialize this fight with Amty. He does actually get taken down. A little bit of damage. We do see Germans trying to walk all the way over point, but they're not really finding any success at all. This is looking very happy for MANDEM. Yeah, Germans have no choice. They've just got to try and leave. No one's really on the chase too much. Actually, they're being aggressive towards the flank with like a tiny little advantage. They're just jumping all the way in. Philip goes all the way directly into Arcade. He's actually managed to pick him up on like 90%. Jesus, that's so brave. They lose Philip though. Now it's just Boxy and June on the backlines. 2 rockets. Oh, somehow Lardox doesn't pick up a second, but Fancy's there to follow up with him. Now Scrappy fights absolutely everywhere. 2 versus 3. We did see MANDEM manage to cap up mid as well, so actually this is almost like a scary situation for the Germans. If they feed too many on second, they might even lose last, and I think they're aware of it.
Alright. There we go. Point capped up. Second in MANDEM's hands, and I mean, certainly much better to be 1-1 at this point than 3-1. Not much of a comeback they have to make here. Just gotta clean up the food in front of them, and Voxy going down makes this meal a whole lot easier to swallow if they just find the opening here. Without an Uber, however, that still is a big task at the end of the day. So let's see if they can manage this without choking here. Already peeking quite a bit. Lardox wants to get a jump in. Beefs one there, gets juggled in. That's basically the same as the first jump, but also straight into the gun. Not getting past that thing off too quick, but with Asian's head, we'll get the gun eventually. But at that point, both of them are already way too weak to get out. Asian goes down as well. I mean, they kind of got what they wanted, but definitely not the way they wanted to go about it.
Yeah, gave it a go. Tried to do that aggressive kind of off-Uber pushing. We do see Voxy getting super aggressive. Fancy hitting those 2 pipes. That's very, very nicely done there. It is going to be players equalizing a little bit. Empty overstaying is welcome, but more frags being traded all across the map. Ultimately, that's going to mean the Germans can't go for a hard commit right now. Possible opportunities. We do actually see MANDEM going all the way towards his top right-hand side. Soldier does go deep. BB playing all the way towards point. Uber does actually get used here by June. So even getting those 2 frags, it doesn't look like they can be able to catch Arcades at all. This is going to be, after quite a messy situation, a solid force there for MANDEM, but 2 players down. They have an Uber. They can look to hard commit at any point if they want to, but they will have a player disadvantage. Uber does get used. Lardox does try and catch at least Amty, but the Germans are just scattering.
That's exactly what they wanted out of this, I suppose. Uber gone, team also gone, and just play safe all the way through here. Getting out of last might still be a bit of a difficult thing to accomplish right now, but hey, if they're just throwing themselves at you and you're ready for it, as they clearly are, that makes the decision-making out of last a whole lot easier at the end, except for maybe Philip just going down, just tries to pre-fire around the corner, but AZN is already around the corner, so that's like it's just too late to actually catch the soldier there at all. Demo down, MT still not having spawned yet, doesn't make this look too alluring into second.
No, I mean, they can pick a second. June is just about to get to that 100%. It is about a 40% advantage. They can't wait too long. They can basically get Philip and then push immediately if they're going to go, but I can see Sentry's already going up by Voxy, so it doesn't look like the Germans have any interest in pushing. They're just going to have this this 40% advantage just dwindle away to nothing.
Alright, a little bit more time on last cross here. Shocky even on the spine. Something is going to have to happen to finally break the stalemate. Maybe the spike clutch is it. Last time we've seen it, it did something. Not what was intended. Shocky is getting a whole lot closer there. And in fact, the second someone saw it, it was already too late. The knife's in the back, the cat's out of the back, and the push is just done before it even started.
That's sad. That's sad of you, MANDEM. You're sitting there being like, cool, brilliant. You know, we had 40 this sad. Now we can play our game. We can do our thing. And then Shocky's just like, no. I'm going to give you the little poke. No Uber for you. Day ruined. There is still I don't know, kooky MANDEM last, you know, weird back cap attempts if they want to go for it. We do see Blank going all the way towards this right-hand side. Lardoc's fighting all the way towards left side of lobby. June's actually completely alone. No one is with their medic who has the Uber. They lose Abdi and Philip. This is just crumble from Germans. What are they doing?
They just want to play the game on hard mode.
Why? Why did they lose Fitchcop there as well? They have both scouts. They have an Uber. And you can see they're just like, oh, Jesus Christ, he's got to use to try and block the point. They managed
and then they don't flash the scout.
Boxy there. What is going on with the Germans? This is ridiculous. Bounces all the way towards his right-hand side. He gets good damage. We do see AZN doing significant things all the way towards point. Lardoc's hitting the all-important air shot. Sticky's all the way towards the point. And that's a MANDEM push, apparently. What was that from the Germans?
Well, I'm sure there was a reason for it. I'm sure it doesn't make it any less embarrassing if the reason is, oops, that was an accident. But here we are. Amazing. They just gotta live with that. Sometimes you have to hold an L, and for what it's worth, they have the wiggle room to fall at least one this best of 3. As long as they figure it out after that again, and maybe even this map alone they can figure it out again. They have still plenty of time, though. Barely under 20 minutes left on the map to somehow bring this back. A good bit fight certainly would be a great start to the round. A lot of damage thrown away, and Arcade's just getting taken out.
Yeah, Fitchcop once again playing in the kitchen. He loves it. He loves the old kitchen. Shame many of the rest of his team not a big fan of surviving. So this is Germans. Nearly getting on Shockey's back there, but he's only going to trade out one. This is, yeah, MANDEM taking control of that mid. June did get out. This is going to be pretty much 100% advantage, so there is an opportunity here for the Germans to, I mean, they should be able to keep control a second and basically start poking towards mid as soon as possible. You know, obviously the dream from their point of view is walk straight past second, go straight to mid, and AZN getting caught towards the flank is a great way to start that.
Well, that's one way to make sure your mid doesn't get caught before anything happens into mid, but one's coming from, there's 5 more to go. It could do something. Granted, you wouldn't expect it to be the medic, but you never know. Certainly Blank's already on the case, but not getting past the flank. He's watching that, and he just taken out all by himself. There's a little trap there on the side of Tetris. Hard to see, and you gotta see it.
It is handy if you're going to live. So this is still about 30% advantage. Players are pretty much equal. Mid is in the hands of the Germans. If they want to push, it's got to be literally right now, and I feel like they're already aware that their advantage has dwindled, so they need to play pretty calm a second. They're going to wait for their spawners. We do see Shockey actually coming up. Oh, he was spy for just a second. Possibly checking classes. Possibly having discussions with his team. But ultimately, going to settle on Scout. So this is equal Ubers. And are still in the lead. Plenty of time still to play with. And AZN getting aggressive towards the flank. Playing around corners, you know? It's the best thing to do on Soldier. It's just corners.
Well, they're getting past these corners pretty comfortably so far, whereas the Germans struggled a lot. That was 1 weak soldier in choke at some point, but managed to get out, and suddenly there's just Scout taking his place, taking care of that very quickly. That's 2 down very quickly. Lardoc's really weak as well, doesn't get pistol down, just barely, and Shockey overextends, trying to do so, doesn't get the flash anymore. It's just falling apart.
This is really, really bad for the Germans. MANDEM almost getting a bit ahead of themselves. They do feed one away. They do actually get forced there. Hitchcock is still actually being really annoying on the back lines. Really, really annoying. They managed to get mid, but they're being so distracted. Hitchcock's actually lived this entire time. Now, the Germans are getting their spawns. Philip gets completely sold out by the rest of his team, though. This is once again becoming scrappy, and surely this is the way that MANDEM likes it.
Philip just, like, way aggressive alone in Flowers. Everyone just walks at him. Blank takes care of Voxy on top of that as well. Now it's just a single soldier waddling around, and that's clearly on the opposite side of the entire fight from where the medic is all alone on the Lonesome. June going down, and Fishkopf just on a little adventure here.
He is. He's gonna... Oh, no, after all of that, somehow Abdi gets onto Arcades because they're basically already fighting last. The Germans, I guess they're just hitting their shots, or at least Shockey is, but it's not enough with his both swords, and the Scout! No block comes in. 3-1 for MANDEM. That was not a clean push, right? But MANDEM did everything they needed to. Like, the Germans, once again, just, like, there was a crack, and then they just crumbled.
Yeah, if you want to give MANDEM credit for anything there, it's that they keep on going if they think it can work. And they just give it their all. If you don't give it your all, why are you even trying, I guess? This is certainly looking like their mindset right now, and it's been working on the Sunshine at the very least. It's getting them set up for potential map 3, but there's a lot of maps left to go.
Yeah, literally only about halfway through, so Bitchkov, once again, living life in kitchen. Doesn't happen this time. He tosses the coin, doesn't happen. You know, it's all good. Thankfully, Shocky walks between two players and takes down Arcades. So Germans, once again, they're happy. They have the Uber advantage. June trying to back all the way towards Valley. Managing to kite Lardox surprisingly well. Fancy Alpha's just jumped all the way in. Your boy's hitting mad pipes right now. Ooh.
Ain't enough crits in the world to kill me.
Fight's not over yet. Scout BB goes in with a little bit less health, and that's just making the difference. Chips away at Boxy, but he finds a shot that does exactly 66 worth of damage there. And that's all you need. Mid-fight going their way, but with a noticeably later Met Death, June spawns with, well, maybe not the biggest dissat, but still something worth worrying about at the very least, especially if you're down already. Not being up in any capacity is just really bad.
This is, well, it was at 1.12% advantage. Now I think it's about 8. So.
Oh no, suboptimal building,
not,
no!
You know? See, probably not going to be a big, enormous Mandem push, but I mean, they are comfortable. They are leading the map, you know, unlike Gullywash. They're in a position where they can just sit here 3-1 and basically be like, Germans, what are you going to do? How are you going to break this situation?
Well, so far not much, but it's justifiable enough given the situation, just building away here, getting this first of all. In fact, they're actually getting first, funnily enough. They had a 15% lead on MANDEM here. Doesn't really matter, as long as they were building at all. They were going to have even at any given rate, regardless, so really just settle with even and see what they can do from here, and what they can do from here is certainly an AZN bomb, alright, but it's got to be a little bit better than that. June just not far forward enough for that to catch anyone by surprise. See it coming nice and early. Don't dare doing anything else off of that immediately, but it's mostly because they're spending a lot of time rotating back through choke of all places. Just see if a different area of approach might be better for them here. There's a lot of damage coming their way though. People getting dropped though. June tries to leave early, but the people with the medic not out in time, and MANDEM with the opposite reaction just pops in on first sight there. Tries to take the fight and they might get rewarded for it. However, they use so late, they have Uber when there's nothing left on MANDEM.
That is... I mean, it was terrible, and then it was good. Now it's kind of going back to terrible again, because it's just June and Shocky, and June is like 20 meters further in than they have any right to be. Shocky, at the end of it, is like, I guess I'll turn around and feed my life away as well. Yeah. Once again, quite messy for the Germans. It's happy times for MANDEM, just about. They're going to have themselves about a 35% advantage this time. That's much better. Importantly, they have the hills here just a little bit closer. They're going to be trying to get all the way through this choke point and try and lock out mid before these German spawners come in. They've got to be quick. And then actually, they kind of just sell out AZN.
Yeah, so far forward alone here. I mean, they can afford a little bit of silly stuff at a 3-1 lead, but I mean, they still want to keep that 3-1 lead, right? Germany winning the first map also 3-1 certainly forces them to take a little bit of caution with how they're playing this, to not just lose this map and lose the match on the spot, but people going down here. Philip taking space, really, really weak, but gets the scout there in the end, and with this many people down, you can barely afford to consider fighting there anymore. Have to leave the second point behind. On it goes to last. June doesn't even have yet. Arcades had advantage the entire time. They were just playing on Razor's Edge there, that the medic gets and can just pop on them immediately. But it will all work out for the German team in the end, and now it's just home stretch maybe to get a force.
Quite possibly. This is 11 minutes left in the game. Not a terrible position for the Germans if they can get some form of success here. Around here would be really, really nice from that point of view. We do see Blank building up the old gun. Snuff gun out in the form of BB and Lardox on spy checking classes. You love to see it, you know? You love to see it. We do see Germans aggressive towards his left-hand side. Both soldiers and Demo, there can be a lot of spam. BB does have to go back to spawn on the old sniper. Again's trying to do a lot here, though. Trying to keep things alive, but gun and AZN goes down. This is a big opportunity for the Germans. They can send 1, 2, possibly. I mean, if they want to go for 3, like, just do a triple sack.
Well, certainly doing some sort of sack, just trying to bust the flank. Lardox eating all the damage in the world. They're ready for it, but that's the flank completely busted heavy as well. And everyone's looking at the combo. Fishkopf just sneaks in past their side, past the heavy of all things. Moxie still gets caught, but that's probably just fine. And yeah, M going down would be a bit problematic, but gets all the way back to the pack in time. And with 2 down, they still have to wait a little bit before they can really go. But once the spawns are here, it's go time for the Germans.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very happy with that. That's really, really nicely pressured. The soldier getting in just when they're pressuring at the highest, getting that easy force. It's going to be very, very nice stuff. Germans One last little opportunity to buff up. Looks like they will probably be going top right, as is standard. Arcade is already on 65% though. Actually playing all the way in spawn, so no medic frags to be happening. They're going to be using all the way top right-hand side. They will be farming out this right-hand spawn. The rest of the team not really committing. They're not playing towards point. They're not really getting these frags. Arcades is on 90% already. Somehow, this is just kind of a nothing push for the Germans.
Yeah, it was really slow as well. Everyone took the sweet time. There was no real like flank pressure coming in out to cover it all. And now MANDEM just takes complete charge of the situation. Fancy going deep, get these kills. Shocky just doing the best one man can, but
I don't know. Right. It was so good. It was so good for MANDEM, and then they get forced, and then like I don't know what Shocky's doing to like live for so long in all these situations. It's really, really confusing. I mean, he's really good at the game. In fairness, he is really good, but even still, we do see MANDEM trying to bust his choke point. Germans, they have no interest in giving this up though. Fitchkov does throw away his life, Roxy as well. Yeah, anti-bounty going down. Oh my god, Germans are crumbling and crumbling and crumbling, and even Philip's not getting out of this, which means guess what, June not even going to be getting towards his forward spawn buddy. Yep, that's a kill bind. That is MANDEM just getting control of second stickies towards forwards as well. Voxy, my dude, you've got to pay attention to the game. I'm sure someone said that happened. You saw it, you were dead. Only June was alive and you saw that demo jump second.
that could be anything. There's no reason to assume he's on the door. Well, a 4-1 scoreline right here would certainly, maybe not quite be game over just yet, but sure would feel like it in many ways. Can't afford to get there, but that's very much not in their hands. MANDEM has to make a mistake for them to even capitalize off of it in the first place. Let's see how it goes in the last. Gun certainly first priority on their end. Flanks coming at the same time, trying to just make living on left side a lot harder for them here. Blindsided by Solly, it's a tray, AZ for Fishkov. Is that going to be enough for them though?
Oh, apparently not. This heavy's doing mad damage. Just not getting taken down. Yeah, no, that was a bit of a beast push there for MANDEM. Didn't really seem like they knew what they were going to do. We do see Blank playing towards lower. He's going to go all the way towards point. Stefan has managed to catch him. Yep, alongside Fishkov. That's going to be an easy frag for them. It's only a tiny little advantage for the Germans, but player advantage is in their hands. 7 minutes left on the clock to get 2 rounds is not impossible by any means, but maybe they will be slightly more incentivized to drive push, especially with a sniper in the hands of AZN. Force him out, choking. They'll be looking good, and they've done exactly that and even got the kill to boot. This is looking very good for the Germans. They're going to keep on going. Momentum all the way.
Alright, time to go with this. Certainly would make life a lot easier if they can just wrap this up in 2, and they still have the time to make that happen. But the Zuba's got to be doing a lot more than it is right now. Getting them second.
They need to deal with Blank. They need to deal with Blank. He's still on the flank. He's actually managing to get out through lower. Jesus, how do they... Okay, just about Voxy gets that frag. Okay, in fairness, that late death on Blank is going to be really annoying. A 17-second respawn on one of your scouts when you've got an uber advantage basically makes it so much more difficult to push out of, which is actually really handy for the Germans because they need to get this force.
Ooh, Lardox barely doesn't crater there as well. 2 down would be a disaster. Blank instantly on ND as well. They know exactly pushing out of here. Might just not be the most advisable thing anymore. Just put up a defense. Even if they go, they have still the sentry as a baseline for the backup to deal with. And if it's still the scout going for the backup, then he can't deal with that at all.
Alright, after all of that, MANDEM, they don't want to be throwing away any rounds if they can afford it. They're going to be not bothering with this advantage. They're happy to equalize at 6 minutes. On the clock, Germans once again in the same situation. They can do the same thing. Pressure towards left-hand side. AZN gets cornered all the way. That's not looking good at all. Lardox is actually lagging as well. Tell me it doesn't happen like this.
It might, I mean. Who knows? Everything's possible in this game. We've already seen too many things happen this match alone, so I think it's out of the question here at all. Let's see how it goes. What? Oh, yes, never mind. That's not going anywhere, in fact.
Well, alright. Good effort, Voxy. Peaks a sentry. Scout class doesn't go very well. I mean, it opens opportunities. Do we see the Voxy sniper spawn?
I mean, whenever a scout dies like this, you would expect it, but I don't know. He didn't feel like he wanted to die like this time around. He's on spy for now, but that's mostly probably just... Oh, no, he isn't just checking.
He has left the spawn.
He's also on the silent knife.
Oh, my days.
People can't react if they can't hear anything. It's crazy.
That's true. That is true. 4 minutes 50 on the clock. This is got to be speedy times for the Germans. Fire isn't the fastest way to deal with this situation, but might be the most consistent way. Does get all the way towards last. Going to be calling out this information where all these players are. He's going to need a big distraction. Oh,
never mind.
Oh, just jumps in, gets the 2 rockets, and just takes out Arcades anyway.
Voxy's actually the best spy of all time. He decloaks when someone's looking at him, so they go for him instead of the Solid.
Oh
Definitely
my
intended.
God.
Very real. Blank is just out here playing fucking perma-crit entry. Just going ham on people. Just
I mean,
playing
you
a
gotta
different game
fear,
mode.
right? You gotta fear the Frontier Justice when your boys got that many crits, but I mean, 3 times 0 is still 0, so Germans, yeah, they got this push. They're going to be going all the way towards this left-hand side. They've not even had to use yet. They've gone all the way basically towards point. Now they're going all the way onto the right as well. They should be nuking. Arcades already down. Heavy and Demo could be in the same corner. They're getting just absolutely annihilated. Only now the scouts are moving towards point. This should be the easiest push of their life. Goodbye, they say to Blank. Get their second round on the board. 3-2 now for MANDEM. But 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. Germans, they have a definite chance right now.
Well, on the upside, Blank had like a million crits there. On the downside, he didn't want to lose him so much. He was just playing spawn the entire time. Sure, he didn't die, but it's weird, right? I feel like just trying to meme on the flank and just get 2 free kills, waiting for the flank, and push them instead. If you're desperate like this, it might be better. It's very high rolly, but I guess that's kind of the game they want to play a lot of the time anyway, so it wouldn't be too absurd from that end here. The only ones really needing to high roll now, though, is the Germans. They need to put it all on red in this case. They need to go in and get around here quick. 3 minutes. They can afford to lose the mid-fight, but you really don't want to be in that position in the first place. And with Ampy going down early, it's an awkward start. But there we go. Fish sure makes up for that very quickly. Gets the medic in the dying seconds as well. Didn't actually die at all, in fact. Just really, really weak at the end of all it. And almost catches Blank to lives on 4 HP to tell the tale, but there's no one else to tell it to. He's just all alone in the backlines.
I'm gonna, like, giga shout out June that mid. June dodged, like, both those soldiers like an absolute champion. Like, yeah, I don't know. That was an absolute crazy mid for June. That, yeah, huge impact there. This is gonna be a massive advantage, and they get blanked that late with a 20-second respawn.
I've seen this before.
Christ.
We've been here before, Blank dying this late. It's not been the issue last time, but it sure didn't hit them at all either. Shocky dying early, however, might be a much bigger issue here. Just dying incredibly early on the last push. Wasn't even part of the push at all, really. Just was in ahead of everyone. June getting bombed there, barely lives. There's the second one coming through. Matt down. Anyone left to go here? Heavy sure takes care of that.
Oh no. Oh no, that's a German crumble once again. Oh, it's not happening. We do see Philip and Foxy trying to get all the way out. They managed to get the second. BB really wants these frags. Gets that one. Does get traded out for Shocky. As always, dragging his team out of slight bits of despair right there. Arcade is 80%. This is 90 seconds on the clock. This is not going to be MANDEM pushing right now. Blank once again getting a sentry up. This is a real decision time for the Germans. Do you try and go for the sack attempts? Do you try and just build as hard as you can, go for a trade and a repush? How do you deal with this situation? Because Arcades has his Uber.
Yeah, they can just play this very safe, and they don't have like any reason, even if you want to be the aggressive team, you have no reason to go for anything more funny than the last hold. Gun being put up a bit forward is certainly the most crazy they're going so far. It's immediately paying off as well. Just put right into Shocky's face, trying to push up with the Solly bomb. No sack coming out of that anymore. 1 minute left. This has to just go for an exchange to get the job done. But are they the ones to get this job done themselves is the real question now. This is not going to be easy at all. And they only have 40 seconds to do it.
Yeah. This is basically all or nothing right now for the Germans. They can be starting to move towards this left-hand side. As much pressure, as much positioning as they can try and take, but June takes early damage. Does have to use so much early. This is a much better Uber for Arcades. Gun does go down in that Uber. 25 seconds left on the clock. Ampty's all the way towards the left-hand side. Gets a lot of damage towards Blank, but surely can get taken down. Oh, such a huge direct there from AZN. The damage on these scouts is just absolutely fantastic. BB staying alive, keeping arrows pumping away. Yep, this is just absolutely perfect for MANDEM.
I haven't seen a choke this big by the Germans since 1945.
Nice! You can say that, you're German. That's cheating.
Exactly.
There we go.
Okay, Beta's hitting me with football references, I think. but I am too big a nerd to get them. So get owned, Peter.
What's a football?
And then I tab back into the staff Discord, and immediately I see a random posting a diff that just says Denmark 3 times. Beautiful timing. Oh, there you go. They're winning one map. Still a really close deal. Very much deserved win here, obviously, for MANDEM. They did play better, but only by so much. And this was the map picks now going as intended, I suppose. Putting us all the way to the third one. It's gotta be a nail-biter here.
Yeah. Gonna be... What is it? Snake water, we said? Am I crazy?
Well,
yes.
either that or process. One means Voxy was not
We're
what
going
you're
to
talking
snake
about.
water. I can see it, Dom. It's on the server. It's on the telly. I can see it.
Well, snake water it is.
I do like snake water.
For map number
It's a fun
3.
map.
It can be. It can also not be. With these two teams so far, it probably will be, actually. With how it's been going, I wouldn't expect anything else out of these two at this stage. Has been a very entertaining match. And these two teams really want it. And as we all know, a TF2 is just an exercise to show how much you really want it, and nothing else.
That is true. That is literally science. You know what else is science? Numbers, statistics. I'm seeing them on my screen. You're seeing them on your screen at home. What are the numbers saying today? Your boy Fancy, 24 for 8. Having quite a good game. Definitely felt like he was able to get some, some fatty frags compared to the old Philip demo, man. Little bit of a demo difference there, Obviously, they had very different experiences of the game. Philip was constantly playing on the back foot, so I'm not going to blame Philip entirely. However, it is telling of something, presumably.
Well, it's a long road to be the best Phil demo man in Prem, surprisingly. He still has a few steps left to go to get there, but they can get a good step forward on this one on Snake Water here, so it's not all hope is lost just yet. If everyone plays well, this is certainly still doable here for them. It's going to be difficult. MANDEM with a lot more control on map 2 was certainly a big difference, right? They just struggled keeping control a lot of the time, let alone getting it back, I guess, really, on map 1, on Gully Wash. That's really, like, all it comes down to, just the good starts, right? The mid-fights were close, but Germans certainly not having just immediately good starts every time makes a huge difference.
I'd take that. I'll be honest. I'm bored of the numbers now. Gonna get rid of them. It's gonna
Do
be
you
all
think
about
Silver
Snake.
Gamer in Shockey's username stands for his hair because he's now an old TF2 player?
No, and I think you're rude for saying that. I would never say anything.
I think
rude
that's
about
very
anyone.
reasonable.
No, that's disgusting.
That's actually very nice because that means that when he's old, he still has hair and isn't bald. So that's a W.
How many bold, active Prem Tier 2 players are there? Are there any?
I don't know how to find out if we don't have lands.
Tweet at DuMmTm if you're bold and play Prem. Alright, so I'm seeing players getting a server. This is Snake. This is I mean, I don't know how this went for picks and bans. Like, who got the last ban? Who kind of made the semi-decision to play this map?
Who knows? Impossible to tell.
Presumably, I'm trying to do the maths in my head. If
You can do that.
Germans got the first pick, then don't they get the last ban? Or demand? Oh, I don't know, man. Some ETF2L admin will not. Actually, ETF2L admins probably wouldn't anyway. Let's just make a guess. Right, got dumb.
Wait, what's a golden
Who's
cap?
doing it? What's golden cap? Anyone know what golden cap is? I don't heard of it. It's MANDEM's pick. Boom. So, do you think this is going to go the way of MANDEM? Do you think they've got the passion, the enthusiasm, the motivation, the momentum? Have they got all of that, or actually the Germans they're going to just be really good and win anyway?
See, the funny prediction is that the server ends before the game ends,
I don't believe you.
which would be amazing. And possible, technically, if they don't extend, which they probably just can, let's be real. It is like almost 11. However, technically possible since the server ends at 23-24.
Okay, assuming that doesn't happen, and one of the teams does win, I kind of still feel like it's going to be the Germans. Like, I love the momentum, I love the energy that MANDEM had that last game, but I don't like how Shockey's still getting away with things. I don't like it.
Well, I guess I would be the contrarian here and say that MANDEM doesn't quite look like a change team as much as just, a team that, improved, learned a bit from the mistakes here and there over the course of that second map and just picked up the slack, got better together, figured out their opponents a bit more, and then did all the right things they needed to do to just come back, right? 3-1 to 2-3 is a notable difference in the end still. As close as it might have been by the end of it, they deserve the win all the way through. And just a good start once again to just bring it over the line once more. Can get them exactly what they want. The early invite into Premiership for Season 41 upcoming, starting next week. This win will just get you in for sure. The loss would not get you out just yet. This bonus chance is brought to you by Or Electro.
Right on.
So
yeah,
the team,
this is...
the team that loses has to actually pay $50 to Nevo, I think is how that works.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that is what this is all for, If whoever wins this map does go straight into Premiership alongside the team which is Nerd Rage, which isn't Nerd Rage, the team which is Ascent, which isn't Ascent, and the team which is Witness, but a different Witness from last season.
Well, that's not that different. In the grand scheme of things, at least.
I mean, they still got Mac.
Yeah, I mean, hey. It's all you need, right? If Bud can play 2 officials with literally nothing else but himself and call it God of Terry, then Mac can do whatever he wants.
Right on. Thankfully, the players have just they've readied up so that you don't have to listen to us talking about that. You have to listen to us talking about this instead. So this is the final map. This is preseason playoffs for season 41. Whoever wins this map goes straight into Prem between the Germans and MANDEM. Both teams taking their own map pick away. Gonna be going to Snakewolf. They're gonna be seeing their first mid, possibly setting the trend for this game right now. Do you see Arcades playing very far back, very, very, very far back, all the way towards Saw, actually. This is a situation for the Germans to be walking over, but they kind of got nuked. AZN picking up 2 really important frags there. Basically managing to hold that alongside his forward buddies, and that basically is going to be the mid, just like that.
I think Fish did 10 billion points of damage this mid-fight, bombed the medic, forced them out, circles back around from his own recoil, and lands on the Demoman's face, and nobody died to that. No one else could get over the point and stay alive. Somehow MANDEM takes all that damage from Fish and just decides, nah dude, we're just denying you guys over the point anyway, and it works.
Shout out, shout out. I mean, damage is great. It's even better. Frags. Frags is nice. So this is equal Ubers. Lardox going to be jumping high and fast. Going to be going all the way towards balcony. Goes for the rebomb. Carter's getting floated by these scouts. Gets the force. June used on like 120. I'm really not sure whether that was on purpose or whether Permzilla's inhabited the spirit of June right now.
It's just pure fear. You see these guys coming your way, you just immediately click mouse 2. There's nothing you can do about it. Uncounterable strategy. And there it is.
And we
what
have
are the odds? It's Lardox. I'm investigating this right now. I just want to be correct about this.
Okay. That's, I mean,
all
I wasn't going to argue, That's fine.
Well, it is Lardox that says pause, so he didn't DC to make the pause happen. It's fancy. Would you look at that?
Oh, no. See, maybe MANDEM would win Prem if they all had functioning internet connections.
That would certainly help a lot.
Oh, it's only a baby pause. We're already going live again. Oh, it's all good. Obviously, the way the SDV works, that pause was 9 seconds in the future to what you're seeing.
Plus pause. Fine. So a little bit more than that.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We do see Pitchbuff going in. Does throw away his life, but does manage to get that Uber forced out. So, MANDEM will get control a second, but it's going to be tricky for them to get too much more. They do have player advantage. They want to go in drive. We do have the Germans all the way towards this right-hand side. They do have their own Uber, though. They should be able to crush these players. Arcade is very, very, very far in, trying to... Just walks like behind 3 players and gets out.
Well, sometimes you just got it like that, and in this case, it's very good to have. Just gets out of there. The problem is, there's still like 1.5 down. Lardox will spawn, but isn't here yet. An opening. However, the only one with an opening right now is AZN. Just like himself to the point, and the only one that can stop him is the Devilman on half HP, and that's just a free kill right there. Who needs pain trades? Just kill them all.
I mean, yeah. Oh, just, kill one guy and stand still on point. There we go. The Merc himself making fatty plays. The team on
Carried
his
by
back a little
Merc?
bit,
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have allowed him then. Maybe you should have been one of those teams, who disallows mercs in basically Prem.
Well, they didn't fear, but little did they know, they should have. I guess this is where the pause is happening.
Yeah.
Good to see
Yeah.
we are not the only ones with technical issues tonight.
It's all,
Makes
so
this
I love
whole
how,
game more relatable.
I'm holding tab to see Fancy disappear, and as I'm watching him, I'm seeing Lardox's ping go creep above 100 again, and I'm just like, what a team! All right, so that is Germans winning that mid through, zero effort at all. All good. Ubers are equal. This is a bit of an opportunity for the Germans. They're taking a lot of space towards grass. Amty does dance around and dies. So, the front.
Second bomb maybe.
One rocket.
Not enough.
Not
Any
enough.
more damage by the first one would have maybe done it, but they just didn't get close to the medic there on bomb number 1. So I'm going down empty-handed. Doesn't set up Fish for success necessarily here with 2 down. It sets up MANDEM for success, all right. That is pressing W, and just German team still forward just pops in on them anyway.
Yeah, this is so much better for Arcades. They do manage to go forward. They manage to take them positioning. He does go down, so that's going to make things a little bit easier, not having to worry about him. They are going to be focusing on capping this mid a second. Forward spawn's very, very important here, denying that Voxy forwards, getting Lardox, their own player, to them a little bit faster. They will have a tiny window where they could kind of go 5v6, but it won't be a great deal. Blank really wants to go for it, though. The rest of his team a little bit more hesitant. And ultimately, the spawners are going to come in. It does look like it's going to stabilize this a second.
Alright, well, stabilizing sounds good for sure, but it's not exactly getting them success just yet. Germans need more than that. Building away as quickly as they can, but it's not exactly advantage here. Here's pause number 2.
Alright.
And back I
This
go
is,
to the page. With the Germans this time? Hold up. Big
Was it?
development. Granted, MANDEM legally doesn't have another pause. Obviously, they could pause and the Germans would be nice about it. Sure, that would be unheard of. Legally, they wouldn't have one. It's how that works. They only are granted one necessary pause per game. This time it's the Germans wanting one. I didn't see anyone DC, I don't think. So it is something else.
It's going to be that... I think they're trying to make it as late a finish as possible, honestly.
Maybe they just hope to catch BB's bedtime. And just get him out of the game. I think a valid win condition. Man's been playing pretty well. Oh no, that is Voxy DC'd. I skipped over that. It's like the 4th thing in front of me. I don't know how I didn't read that. But yeah, it is Voxy coming out.
Okay. Well, they're just taking turns then, I guess,
Well, it's a crash. Luckily, at some point you learn what message of a disconnect means what, and client disconnect is a crash.
Maybe this is a plan. Maybe this is what you do. You just get a bunch of older people, and then just all the up and comers in Prem, you just stay up past their bedtime.
So you're saying that Lego is the most powerful team of all time if they just cut random immediately?
I would argue that is a good idea regardless of the situation.
True. Well, we'll see. I see Voxy reconnect. The pause should end fairly shortly. A little bit more time for us on the event of the STV, of course. But still, regardless of that, Voxy is reconnecting. Unless it's an issue of where he can't rejoin, which I have experienced before. It's not fun. I guess you have re-experienced that as well recently. So, luckily, it is not exactly that.
All good. It's all good. We do see the unpause come in. So we have what is basically an equal situation. Equal players, equal Ubers, equal everything. So it is going to be MANDEM, 1 round ahead. So not really enough to just sit back and do nothing on. We do see Lardox going in. Faces get annihilated. Apty as well getting caught. So 1 player for 1 player. Not too bad. Bitchkop as well towards... Alright. It's the AZN going a little bit weak, but Bitchkop just going to be getting his own buff and just chilling out, This is a very, very relaxed game right now.
Alright, we'll see when the Voxy pause happens. Hopefully it's less impactful. I guess it's Karmov that's just about as impactful and they lose exactly 1 point of it, in a way. So let's go with that, maybe.
Trying to peek and poke around and see if there's anyone who looks like they really, really want to do something. Neither team feeling massively incentivized, kind of doing the
Yeah,
thing.
you can. You are like the fun hockey gamer team until it's the best of 3 third map, and you're one run up.
That's true. That's true. We do see Blank on the spy. He's on the spy. He's left spawn. He is doing things. That was where the pause came in. So that was where Moxie's technically not actually with the rest of his team. He does just about join now, but this does provide a little bit of confusion already just by having those discussions in Mumble. So Blank might be able to find a bit of an opportunity here. June all the way towards the point. They are set up.
As long as it's at least a Devilman getting pistoled down, it's pretty good still. And especially with one bonus kill, they can pressure and bait for the spy really well at this point.
Yes, we do see Lardox jump all the way in. He kind of goes nowhere, just gets taken out immediately. Blank wasn't ready to go there at all. But that's just going to be sitting towards Bow. Not going for this opportunity just yet because, I mean, the Germans have been playing pretty slow as well, so doesn't have to worry about going too quickly. Obviously, the longer that Blank stays doing nothing... Oh, actually declose directly! Get spotted. Get spotted immediately. They got themselves some headphones.
And that is pause number 3, everyone.
Oh my days. Have mercy. Dum, tell me the reason.
Shocky crashed.
Christ alive. Was it actually shocking?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shocky's too old for the shit.
We call it a draw. Let's just call it a draw. They both go into Prem.
What do you mean? One of these has one around this map.
Oh my god.
Man, Fancy really is on the build from Left 4 Dead cosplay, isn't he? I guess I just never paid attention to that, but he really is, wow.
I don't understand how you said about how, like, you know, Larlox being like the ultra laggy gamer. He's not the problem.
Larlox is the good one today.
3 other players in this server are having worse, like, connection/games than him. That's
okay, wait.
incredible.
I see Dean complain about the pause. I will copy paste this for when his team pauses. What? This is very important.
Brilliant. We've unpaused. We're back in. Okay. Presumably, there's gonna be some hot Team Fortress 2 action happening in the next 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, they'll get it sorted eventually. I'm sure of it.
Alright, we do see Germans aggressive. They're peeking, getting some good damage. They're trying to get these soldiers off the high ground, but they take so much damage of their own. Ooh. Fancy just about survives on like single-digit HP, but surviving all they need. Klep goes down as well. This is now really not looking good for the Germans at all. We do see Lardox lagging his way all the way towards balcony as well. Going to be getting very, very far forward. One rocket is actually forcing off June, and they actually managed to lose Shocky in that as well. So this is really, really not looking good. They do choose to drop Fancy for the sake of keeping their Uber just a little bit longer, but oh my god! Oh, that's very, very well played by Arcades and his scouts. That is huge.
Alright, well, I will give credit to Lardox here. Actually, that man is lagging so much right now and not calling for a pause. Probably because it would just be really annoying at this point.
Alright, Uber's going all the way towards last scout. Is going to be playing on the point, and they're just going to cap it. They're going to cap it just like that. In all that carnage, all that chaos, 3 different pauses. And in the end, MANDEM just basically take it away. They're like, fine, let's do it. Happy they're doing it. This was where the pause was. That was the shocky one. Good God, okay.
Was in between rounds at least, so it could be far worse on that round. So let's see how it goes. 2-0 lead for MANDEM. Strong start for them for sure in the first third of the map. The Germans need a strong comeback now if they want something done. And the mid-fights haven't been exactly recognized yet. That's a good start though. Fishkopf just straight with a point, just Goombas not anything below him and just sees, hey, there's the medic. 2 rockets to the face. All it takes now is just protect the castle, see if the vet can survive somehow. June already falling back here.
Yeah, they're backing all the way up. Very, very happy just to take a moment. Oh, very nice arrow onto AMT. Not enough to be dealing with BB though. It's actually the Germans. I'm going to back up all the way towards grass. Fancy jumping all the way in, straight through window, trying to get this all-important damage. Huge, enormous, monstrous pipes. Just
Iron bomber.
Sends Philip out the server. That's disgusting.
But realistically, it doesn't really matter. That was the Iron bomber tonight. If
What
you
are
really
you
think about it.
Shut up! It counts. That's a double air shot.
No, they never count. That's what is really at stake here. That's the pop as well, just straight on the medic. That's a good start for the Germans. He is struggling a lot cleaning up the soldier there, but eventually you get AZN. So that cleans that up at least, but there's still a few more left to go. And Blank taking his sweet time, and Fishkopf just takes himself out before anything else can even touch him anymore. And Blank just gets away with it.
Yeah, currently we do see, oh my god, Scouts just walking directly at June. They're managing to survive, duck and dodge and dive, keeping this 20% Uber advantage. These faster spawns from the side of MANDEM though, they're going to be really, really scary. AZN goes directly in, one rocket off, get taken down. Ooh, Voxy eating some important damage. The medic alive, so actually not too bad for them. They haven't got the cap just yet. Philip all the way towards the low ground. This is going to get taken down. The rest of these players can come in though. Uber isn't going to be a factor yet. It's all about the dry fight. And right now, it's just looking better for MANDEM.
Alright, I feel good.
Alright, MANDEM back in the driver's seat here, and that's not what the Germans want to see. MANDEM has had this map so much. It is time for them to find the comeback here somewhere, but it's been so difficult this entire way through. Fish and Philip will spawn again. Now it's just at the waiting game. They need to find a way in here, but I mean, by the time the spawns are fully back on the rest of the team, the Uber's up on both sides, so no opportunity to actually abuse the small ad they had at all. So it's just going to make this drag out even longer.
Yep, and really, I mean, there's 18 minutes left to go, but the more this timer ticks down, the happier MANDEM are just to be like, you know what? You know, it's all good. It's all good, boys. We can sit back. We don't have to be the aggressive team. We don't have to, you know, do anything wild. Live your very best life. That being said, if they can get some more rounds, even better. You know, 5-0ing, that would be a good feeling. That would be a good start for things. They do get that first frag, which got going down. AZN does jump in, doesn't get anything at all, and importantly, the stickies from Philip. Says goodbye to Fancy alongside. He as well. Yeah, MANDEM, they have no business being here in this mid right now. They're backing it all the way choked. They're completely conceding this. No chance at all. Even getting towards spawns, just about coming through. They will just have to keep it chill on second.
Alright, we were up. Making it chill should be very easy this way. If they just keep everything in sight that they need to. Let's see if the Germans can somehow find a way through anyway. Suddenly peeking a lot already here. Just throwing a lot of spam through this one entrance here at Saw, but no one's willing to go for anything just yet. They still have plenty of time technically, but better be working once they do go for it eventually. Fancy spamming back quite a bit as well. Just a spamming game so far. No one's taking the initiative. Never mind. BB the one taking the initiative. Just jumps through window and MT doesn't respect the option at all.
Nope, that's a nice little start to things. We're going to see any more. Like getting a little bit of vision towards Lug and calling out some of these positions. Not that anyone's in any kind of crazy spots anyway. Doesn't look like MANDEM is going to be sending anyone else in. They're just going to, you know, they got their pick. They slow things down a little bit more, and they're happy just to keep on playing just a little bit passive at the minute.
Alright, let's see any bust opportunity. Fancy that was kind of close for a little bit. That would have been a nice one to go for sure, but won't get the demo minion. MT trying to circle back around, but Lardox takes him out of the sky. Man down. It's time to go for blue. Certainly they're looking like it already, but how much pressure are they willing to apply here right now in the wake of their own lead being at stake here? Not that much, but Fishkopf's giving it to him.
That's really, really nicely played. That almost like baited the pressure. We do see Uber get used for both teams. Basically equal. This is going to be a fatty solo. Voxy wants to try and force some kind of flash, but really can't get through. It is Germans with all of the height, all of the positioning right now towards point. So even with a player advantage, MANDEM doesn't feel like they can do that big commit through Saw. You see a couple players rotating towards lower, but ultimately Fancy just putting up a trap towards lower, trying to catch anyone who's going to be dry pushing. Unfortunately, can't really get anyone at all. Germans, they could go for a dry push if they want, but it's even still like 60 minutes. There's a lot of time on the clock. They don't need to make these all or nothing plays. They're just going to keep on peeking.
Yeah, we'll see. One step at a time here. MT will not be the one making any steps forward. Neither is it. Voxy just shut down instantly. MANDEM just playing the defense as well as they have to. Sitting back, you're seeing what's coming and just spamming so much to not let anyone get in. Little rocket there to clean up Lardox is helpful, but with one player down over them anyway still, it's just go time for MANDEM. They're all over this right now. However, maybe a little bit over their own heads as well if that AZN forgets to force again, but with Arcade using as well, it's only slightly better, just enough to chase on the match, but it might just be opportunity for the Germans to still just press W keys all the way through into mid and get the kills going. The Scout's leading the charge, he's always coming in. Arcade so far back, has to desperately live. Pull the trigger early on, leaving there just enough to get the man out in time. That should save at least that one life here, the one that really matters at this point. Even if it costs them a lot of space on the map.
Yep, they are going to lose control of second point. It was a nice serve from Arcades to get out in any form there, so ultimately they lose control of second, but they do have their heals ready to go. They're actually taking a lot of damage. The Germans have all got their forwards. They're going to continue getting forwards. EZN is beefing some massive rockets right now, so June's managing to survive this entire time. And this is actually really not looking good for MANDEM. They sacrificed everything to try and get towards the point, but even just only getting that cap, they're now 3 players down to 8 more seconds. This is a massive opportunity for the Germans all the way towards this left-hand side from their POV. Do they want to play towards point? They want to try and get towards Arcades. The Uber is out, so they can start using this basically whenever, and the Germans are going to be happy with that. They don't even have their own. That's such a good force for them. Are they just going to repush entirely? They only lost Amty, and they did manage to pick up blank there, so
snipe in front of them.
they're repushing immediately. Oh, but AZN! They don't check the spawn door. They lose June, and that's surely going to be it. Even Boxy getting a scary amount of time on point. Not going to be enough.
Is this like that's the first snipe that actually hit this game? I swear there wasn't much sniping, but also was nothing that hit yet. We're all the way halfway through map 3 at this point. And it's the one that matters.
Yeah.
Could afford to do the map. Just hit them when they matter, and AZN pulling up for the squad that needed him to mark desperately. And he's showing up alright.
Yeah, I mean, also in fairness, it's quite greedy from the Germans to think they can try and get so far in, you know? It is a lot to ask. You do see MANDEM have 90%. Oh, the flank though from FT! He just annihilates. Oh my days. He's actually somehow still alive. He's drawing players back, even going down that late. That is still absolutely fine right now. Germans, they're just like, okay, boys, this is looking good. Lardox as well towards his low ground. That's not going to be any frags for him. No, this is Germans happy. They're getting control a second. They're going to have like 80% advantage. Okay, this time, surely this time we can see a round on the board.
Well, I mean, history tells us anything but that so far on this map, in terms of last pushes for the Germans. Who knows? Maybe it's time for history to change now. The bomb's coming in on the heavy, but he does not die. Lardox is incredibly late backspawn there, but he does not die to the roller either. But that means 3 people are incredibly busy. Not dying on the left side of the shutter door at spawn, and no one's on the point.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff there from the Germans, and that is, I mean, it's 1 round on the board, but it's 50% of what they need so far. 12 minutes 20 left on the clock. They have a lot of time to play with MANDEM right now. They need to be aware of things. They need to be a little bit careful, because giving Germans just a few too many opportunities here. Throwing their first chance of Prem away would be disastrous right now. But 4th minute of the game, let's see how it's going to be going on. Bitcom just gets annihilated by Lardox. Absolutely fantastic stuff, but ultimately, after all of that, it is actually the Germans in a fantastic position. Fancy tries to get out towards Saw. Germans are being a little bit more hesitant this time. Ooh, that's one all-important pipe, but it's Stefan. Shocky with the pistol. Even trading that out, having no demo on second, is going to be scary times for MANDEM.
Yeah, you're missing so much damage just can just be thrown over the entire point. That they'll be badly missing right now. It's helped a bit by the fact that it's even Uber, but the Germans, I mean, they have some amount of time still, but they want to take the chances here, and the demo down is a decent opportunity, alright. However, sort of extending makes it a whole lot worse, a whole lot quicker than they would like. That cancels the push being bunch entirely. Lardox still struggling with this ping, but there's no pause being called. They used the 1-up already, it doesn't matter, the Germans had 2. They don't want to take 1 more out of them here if they don't have to.
No, we do see AZN get aggressive. Not going to get anything though, so this is very equal. We do see Philip getting really quite far in towards lower. Voxy as well. Really want to peek and prod this, but it's a little bit too much. Voxy going down, sold in from the flank. Oh, the Saint Rockets are perfect for Fishkop there. Even losing 3, that's an absolutely beautiful play. June needs to just get the hell out of mid though.
Well, they're figuring that one out as we speak. Back to second, it is. Always hurts to have to give up a point when you're getting a successful play, but like you said, with this many people down, you gotta weigh out your options a little bit and get the spawns up first. Certainly is the way to go about it. AZN just sneaks up from behind them, might actually get the jump out as well, lands on his rocket and just sinks himself up by accident. Barely goes down. I don't think that was intended, it almost looked nice, but almost isn't good enough. However, everyone else comes in and they just have to pop, but there's a backup going on at the same time.
This is absolutely enormous. This 1 scout in the back lines, like, BB's actually just making it happen. like, got that one frag, got that cap, and now they can just absolutely just crunch all these German players. June says goodbye. Pitchcop somehow manages to trade up for Arcades, which, I mean, it's still looking good for MANDEM, but losing your medic there, like, that would have been damn near guaranteed a round if they'd managed to keep Arcades alive.
Well, even Uber just about gives them a fighting chance at least, still. But it's going to be a tough one here out of last for the German MANDEM. As rough as it is at the end of this whole fight, still in the better position for the time being. Looks like DB's going back for an off class as well. Waiting on the shutter door for Lardox to open that one and see the sniper class leave on the other side again.
Ooh, nice frag there for AZN. He was just absolute ratting in cheese, just like, you know, I'm going to be annoying. I'm going to get this one frag. That does make things just a little bit more annoying for the Germans. Now they're trying to keep control a second. 5 versus 6. No Ubers as well. We do see Lardox on the deep bomb all the way towards about AZN directly behind Juke. Oh, Juke, sorry. Juke just gets annihilated. AZN, the Merc himself, does he get more? He gets, oh my god.
Instead of putting 3 teams into Prem, can we just put AZN alone into Prem?
MANDEM's just, they're on it. They have had their Weetabix. The air shots come in. There's no one alive. June on the pirate spawn, buddy. That is not going to be enough. Oh my god.
Well, that's one way to do it. 3-1 lead. Certainly far from over yet, but each time a team had a 3-1 lead, they took it home. Small sample size, I guess, but not looking good either way, being 2 down again with only 8 minutes left to go. Germany in a rough spot right now. MANDEM needs to just keep this together. Even if they somehow lose positions, lose fights, they just need to drag everything out into timer as much as they can, and they will have this in the bag.
Yeah, everything in the hands of the Germans. Once again, Pitchcopy does get just annihilated immediately. Voxy tries to go aggressive as well. Important arrows coming up from Arcades. Abti on the flank, though, gets 1 rocket, 2 rockets. Arcades down. Germans all the way towards point. They're in a fantastic little position. Even losing that player is not going to mean too much right now. They want to get this mid cap. They want to get these forward spawns. They want to play around their medic, keep this uber advantage. Now, the dream for them is to get all the way through the second without having to use a tool, because that would basically just provide them an opportunity to just get a free round.
Bit of unnecessary death by MT, but...
Lardox is he's not alive. He just stood still on grass for 10 seconds. His internet is bad. That's really bad to happen. Like, Captain Obvious, right? But like...
The Norwegian internet is trying... the Norwegian government is trying to suppress this man. He can't become too powerful.
Alright, we do see Uber coming all the way through lower this time. AZN Sniper's not going to be doing anywhere near what it did last time. A lot of spam towards point. Voxy already starting to play. Those stickies get dead. It's not enough. It's not enough. Germans just standing on it. Just like that. We're back in the game. 7 minutes still left in. 1 round advantage for MANDEM. And every time the Germans feel like they're out, they're just like, you know what, man? We're just going to keep on going.
And 1 more to go. And they have, at the very least, the bonus chance. They're getting themselves some extra time on the board if they get the 1 more round into the tied scoreline. That's basically all they need here. Still doable, however, 7 minutes? I mean, you can just win this outright. You need some really good stuff on the mid-fights, but that kind of happened once before, at least just now, so why not do some more of that? It's on MANDEM to try to adapt to it right now. The bomb's certainly looking the same with Fishcop. They're expecting that one. They're not expecting Shock to move over as well. And Amp just leads everyone on the other side of the map. They know Fishcop's bomb, but they don't know what Amp's doing.
What is happening? How is one soldier getting this much value? AZN, he's going to do his best impression of your boy Ampty, but guess what? He's getting caught towards kitchen. Later, dude, back into the spawn queue you go. This is... this is scary if you're MANDEM. This is really, really scary. This is, yeah, like Germans, they've got mid, like second going to be completely uncontested. They're going to have an absolute nuclear advantage to push towards last here. Anything less than an absolute, like, disaster push for Germans, and I swear this is going to be an equalize.
It's so rough for MANDEM as well, because they know exactly which bomb Fishkopf is going for, but everything around it is just different every time. And it looks like they're slowly but surely falling for it. They just wanted the 9-1 bomb, but not everything else. And suddenly we're here back last. The gun taking a big old beating, but takes a while to go down. That's a good start at the very least. Heavy out of spawn. Could be some work for them right now. No one's denying them just yet. They get all the way to the cap here. Guns down the Solly pretty quickly. Heading in the sky. Well, it's put some damage on the point. The cap time is there, but not enough. The damage by the stickies maybe doesn't actually hit the heavy there somehow. But they get the medic still. June has such a long way out though. There's no way the medic lives on this one, right? Someone has to get there.
Fancy's trying to. Fancy goes for the bomb all the way towards choke. 1 sticky. June lived in 3 HP, but no. The pipe comes in. that late frag is really significant right now. Still, only about a 10-second spawn, but it's going to be enough to make sure June does get this back spawn. Arcadie's going down there. That was an all-important frag. Oh, and the cap actually delays June for another 10 seconds.
Very intended, of course.
Oh my god, I would be fuming if I was the Germans.
Well, there we go, 25% advantage. That's a rough one on them here. They have 5 minutes to figure this one out, and MANDEM has all the time in the world to figure out anything they want right now from this position. They can make a push from this if they really so want to, and just make this comeback all the harder, but they have to take the risk if they don't want to either. This is all in their hands. Germans just have to go take it from them by force if necessary, because they won't try to make it as easy and give this up at all.
No, I was almost half thinking maybe the Germans would go for an off-Uber push, trying to go a little bit desperation time, but I'm not feeling that pressured right now. You know, it is still 4 minutes. 4 minutes is...
If there was any chance to do it, it was immediately after June died, but even then they were people down. It was already 5 onto second, and only 4 of them with the scout dying late. Even that would have not been great. That was the best opportunity they had in a few minutes now, after the last push failed, so we'll see. Pressure's starting to get there for them.
Ooh, that's some big demo damage being traded. Jesus Christ, Phillips just walking on 2 stickies, like he doesn't even care, like full like psycho mode, you know. But it's all good, doesn't die, so I guess it was all part of the plan. This is just like you say, MANDEM are just sitting there like, all right, boys, we've got our bus passes, we can park us up a little bit, you know. It's all good, it's all good. Only 3 minutes 20 left towards grass. Germans are going for that peak once again. Nice little bits of spam. Fancy playing this far left angle. Gets all the vision, all the opportunities there, because he knows his scouts are going to deny any bombers fantastically, so.
I will say, if MANDEM still manages to lose this is someone's Joker moment, for sure. They have 3 minutes to play for, and even then, the golden cap to just bring this back. This is looking so doable for them. They're sitting so comfortably on second right now. It's all on the Germans to just make something happen. So easy to make a mistake in that position from the Germans. BB just getting Goomba stomped by that bomb, but somehow the soldiers just falling apart, not hitting the final shot. Gets both scouts incredibly weak. It's AZN actually the first one to die on blue.
Alright, this is a little bit of a scary situation. Like I said, DuMmTm did do a lot, but soldiers getting traded out. Germans this time going to be aggressive towards Source side. They know Lardox is there. They know he's a laggy little void. They try to abuse that just a little bit. Fitchcop jumps all the way in. One rocket towards Arcades does actually manage to get the force out, combined with the scout. We do see... Oh my god! Somehow Shocky gets between them and takes down Fancy. Jesus Christ, that's kind of insane. Now, all June needs to do is just not get forced in a really stupid way. Like AZN is going directly behind them!
Well, it was fortunate enough to even grab it at a time, for all it's worth. And he getting caught as well just makes this all the worse. It's slight add to... Okay, it's 2 minutes left.
Still behind as well.
This is just becoming the same finish as last time.
What is happening? This is such an absolute disaster right now. Arcades just trying to use the entire length of his feet, but Boxy's getting directly behind them. It's actually Philip who gets that frag as well. 4 versus 4. Lot of fragging players. Germans, thankfully, still don't have control of second, so they can't go for any kind of crazy backups, but Shocky, once again, picking up Fancy. It's just DuMmTm. He's on mid. He has been spotted. He has been called by the entirety of MANDEM. 90 seconds on the clock. June with a faster spawn. They need to be just all go all the time. Like, they need to take this 3 versus 2 on mid. They need to be in. Like, even getting this cap in, getting the board spawns on MANDEM is going to be really, really bad for the Germans.
It's that time. You can tell what time it is on the clock right now just by watching this gameplay. Everyone's just playing a little bit more shaky. Everything's just becoming a DM fest right now. They really want this so badly, but you got to be composed until the very end. And MANDEM just in the easier position at this spot here. They might be slightly behind on Uber, but they have a lot more wiggle room right now to make this happen. Here comes the place and just looking what's up. This time he won't get airshot out this guy and go down pretty quickly, but doesn't get anything of value much either just yet. It's just a slow walk over grass, and they haven't accomplished much yet. Fancy is so much damage. He has to be careful. There's the bomb MT on the second try. Finally gets something done there, but doesn't get back out. It's a trade at best, but Lardox similarly so unsuccessful on this bomb. There's a second scout coming in. They just want to go one by one for these kills on the flank, but the combo is just all alone all of a sudden.
Oh my god, AZN's on the back lines. It's not enough to delay them at all. 25 seconds left on the clock. Arcade is 95%. Getting this 8 seconds of Uber charge is going to be so important. AZN does go down now. Ubers are going to get traded. 20 seconds on the clock. Spawners coming in. 5 more seconds right now. Couple 6 extra points, but Shock is already starting to play. He does get an all-important flash. They manage to take down Arcades. 11 seconds now on the clock. So much damage being dealt by these Germans. Going all the way towards point. Fancy goes for it, but they're just about going to do it.
Someone's gonna lose their minds after this game, and it's gonna be someone else other than also eepily.
Jesus Christ. Germans have just threaded like 40 needles in a row. That's incredible.
Well, the painful part about this is, as impressive as that might have been, that's not enough. They need one more. It's not over yet. They've only gotten themselves a second chance for all this work. And this golden cap has to decide it now. MANDEM hanging by a thread. But they're still in this.
I'm gonna
also,
say,
did I not say it was gonna be a 4-3 game?
Yeah, you did. You did, actually. Like, I want to shout out on that push, like the play towards points. Shocky's starting up that cap time. Your boy goes down to like 20 HP, and June hits the miracle flash to keep him alive, and just keeps that fight going on so much more. Like, losing one scout there would have been so much worse a position for them. That was
that's
really
really huge as well, because there was like over the course of the game, just like these couple of moments where like June and the scouts were just disconnected awkwardly on all 3 maps. Really, I think it was on Snakewater where like there was a moment where like one scout was just running away from second alone while the map was on tower still. And it just happened so much. So seeing these moments where it is actually working, where like the team is functioning as they all know it could, it's just shining through. Really nice to see for them, but they need more of that. Even if just a little bit, even if just a minute more.
Okay. Alright, I think the players need a moment. I need a moment, but this is going to be going to Golden Cap, which in fairness is absolutely the most fun way to decide who goes into Prem. Like, we'll ignore the fact that the loser still has a chance of going into Prem. Like, 3rd map, Golden Cap.
Wouldn't it be much funnier if we all
that.
message Neville right now and get them back into Prem real quick? Just like after this game is over.
Maybe, maybe. Oh my god. I really do. I do need a minute there.
Well, I don't think MANDEM should wait a minute, because Aladox's ping is actually looking good right now. So it's in our best interest you just
Dude, your boy's on 50!
Right,
this is the first time I've seen it under 100 for like quite
This
a
is
while
why the
now.
Germans wait until the number rises above 100 and then they just hit F4.
That's true. That is true. I'm not seeing either team ready up just yet, I don't think.
Well, it's the classic strat talk beforehand. Just gotta figure out the one bit fight. That might be all that matters.
Honestly,
very rarely, but sometimes you just see people bring out the big brain strats.
Like, I want to shout out these mids from the Germans, because, like, I swear from Fitchcott POV, your boy's just jumping and getting nuked every single time, but, like, I guess it's just the distraction that allows the rest of Germans just to, like, hardcore take high ground and just, like, annihilate. Like, your boy is fulfilling his role, and I'm certain from his POV, he's just like, fine, I've once again been sacrificed to the altars of MANDEM, but, like, I mean, if it works, it works, I've said it before. If it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid.
We'll see. Also, since we have a minute here right now, mind you, this is not the only Prem qualifier. There's one more game coming up tomorrow where we see the other half of all this, so there's more to come. But we'll see who will have to go through the relegation match from this side of bracket for the Premiership spot between MANDEM and the Germans. 15 more minutes at most, but could be far less if this mid-fight is just taking a swift end for either of these two teams.
Yeah, this is it. Prem deciding game, Prem deciding round right now. Germans versus MANDEM. We do see AZN getting aggressive towards the enemy kitchen. Nice rockets. Doing a lot of damage towards Fitchcott. Does. Oh my god! Ampty managed to hit all important rocket toward Arcades, and this is a situation we've seen all before, but it's actually. Yeah, June gets flanked by BB. This is looking really good for MANDEM right now. It's looking to be Philip hitting an all-important pipe. Does take it down. Huge mid. BB there. This is going to be one for the side of MANDEM. This is actually fancy, and Larok's getting aggressive all the way towards second right now. They want to keep this position. Might be a little bit scary though, because all the spawners are coming up on the side of the Germans right now. They shouldn't be giving away second at all.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe?
Oh.
Somebody
It's
could
actually a
consider
little
it.
bit scary. Yeah, like losing Fitchkopf there is actually a little bit worrying. Philip just only getting to his heels now.
Oh, no, empty
so
spawn.
their health isn't fantastic at all. Now they're trying to get all the way... Oh, God. This is really scary for the Germans. This is AZN getting so much damage towards these players, not combining with the frags at all. But actually, your boy doesn't need to. He's hitting mad directs. This is MANDEM. This is surely MANDEM all the way. Doing all the way towards right hand side. 50% Uber. Like, Ubers are not going to come into play whatsoever. This is so much on the shoulders of Fitchkopf. He's actually going to jump away from the point. Oh, my God. Blanks is keeping him completely suspended. And after all of that, Phoebe has a scorch of a round. And that's just it. MANDEM in Prem.
June backspawned there to get health, and didn't also hit a bind that swaps you to Ubersaw. Which I will say is a throw. It didn't quite matter, because the Ubersaw swing did actually miss entirely. But it could just come up in that situation. And you would hate to be the one that doesn't have the 25% for Freda when you hit the melee swing. Painful to see, but MANDEM earns this one. Just barely, though. But they're taking this one home, get the win, take it into Premiership, and don't have to go the painful route the Germans have to go through now. They have to see tomorrow who's going to win and lose that game to see if they can still do it for the Premiership spot.
Yep, huge games, obviously. You know, it is MANDEM going through, but big stuff from the Germans as well. So good stuff from both teams. But yeah, like you say, this is going to be MANDEM securing their spot, and they'll be very happy as well. They get a bit more time to prepare themselves for the season without having to worry about possibly not even getting to that top division. So good stuff. It also does mean that we're going to have at least a couple fresh faces in Prem this season. Once again, I think it's going to be quite a hotly contested debut of the season award at the end of 41.
Sure. We'll definitely see who takes it up there. However, from the next game tomorrow, that's not that many actually. A couple, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. Not nearly as much though in those games. It's a Yak team with a lot of people you've seen before, but just scrambled together. They just got together last minute. We'll see how that goes. And trust the process, same team as before, pretty much anyway. And they gotta trust the process to get back in, I guess, into Premiership. That's the game tomorrow for the season 41 Prem qualifier, coming at you at the same time as always. Loser of that also still has a second chance, but they have to go through the Germans, who we've just seen at their best in this game play really well still, which is just further credit to MANDEM, I guess, to do better than that, because the Germans didn't play bad. There was bad stuff in there individually, sure, but just for moments. But in the grand scheme of things, they still played really well, so it's going to be a threatening losers finals for the last Prem spot for sure. And if that ends in someone instantly dying, I wouldn't be surprised.
Quite possibly.
Well, that would make more space in Div 1 for the franchise to figure out what they want to do with their projects, I guess.
That is true. That's always the best part of a Prem preseason, It's a team which loses and then just immediately folds, and then they try it again the next season.
Well, only in Highlander do you get a team winning and then also die.
Oh yeah.
And then no one gets into Prem.
Players, that doesn't count.
Well, good luck finding 9 people that don't hate each other. Even outside of TF2, that's very difficult. But you do what you can here, and for now, MANDEM's making it work alright. These 6 get along alright. And granted, work situation is a thing. Didn't drag them down. Not to discredit Hornsey, but AZN did play really, really well. So he has some big French shoes to fill for one small Portuguese boy. Let's see if he can live up to that. His team set him up for success. He has to just bring it home now for them. Will not be easy against Premiership. Like I said, they want to be the aggressive team. They gotta earn it. Certainly played a little bit slower than I would have liked to see out of them, at least knowing how they can play, but given the level of play, I'm not surprised, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to sit down last and let your opponent suffer for a little bit. And you know what? Success tells the story at the end. History will remember the winners, and for now, they are the ones going to Prem. We'll see you guys next time tomorrow with Trust Process against Stevie Wonder's AIM School. We'll see you then.